Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, is Yahweh Shai. So do or die. The immaculate conception is deception, along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's claws, the birth of Nimrod, and not the son of God. To you was kind of odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High.
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
All right, thank you for joining us again for another field class. We have some special guests coming from San Antonio. We have Priest Banabai. All right. And as well, we have Priest Shamshuan.
Shalom. Shalom.
These brothers came all the way out from San Antonio. All right. So as you know, we have a school here in Houston, Texas, at the address of 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard. So if you're here in Houston or the surrounding areas, listen, come on out, man, because we got a school for you, a building that you can come and gather to as well. We have a school in San Antonio where the brothers came from. That's going to be 4219 Centergate Street, San Antonio, Texas. As well, we have another school in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The address for that is 501 Copper Avenue, Northwest Albuquerque. All right. We have a school in Trinidad. Listen, Texas, if you need information, we have the brothers out there right now. Once again, just text me for that. Text the brothers. All right. As you know, we have class from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday and Wednesday is going to be from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. The Shabbat service on Friday and Saturday. Friday is going to be from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And Sabbath service is going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. or until class is over.
And I was going to say, if you're in San Antonio, the classes are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then the Sabbath service on Saturday also. So if you do come out, you can always join us in class and do the service on that Saturday also. But our classes are from Tuesday, 7 to 10, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 7 to 10, and then Saturday morning from, I think it's 10 to 12 p.m.
10 to 12.
Okay?
All right, so classes in San Antonio. As well, we have a ISBHPK kids channel that you can look at. We're gonna be postponing that until Passover, but you can definitely look on our YouTube and see a lot of good classes for the children. And as you know, you're seeing this now. We have a lot of classes in our archives for our ISBHPK channel. So we have 5 Minutes of Wisdom. We have the news show as well that you can check out on there. All right. We have a blog talk radio from the brother Mashaba out of San Antonio and Albuquerque. You can look him up on blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba, and that's going to be Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Again, that's blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. That's Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. And it's definitely good to have some the word early in the morning. So you have all avenues of getting this word and getting this truth. All right? We have the teachers that you can reach. We have Priest Kazakia at 281-707-2737. Now, they're out of town. They're out of the country. They may respond. But once again, his number is 281-707-2737. As well, we have Priest Kwatazak. His number is going to be 303-557-8979. And if you have any other questions you want to ask online, we have an email address, isbhpk@isbhpk.org. All right? And just some events that are coming up, we have Purim on the 16th. Come out and celebrate. We're going to have a feast here at the school. Once again, our address is 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard. So Purim is going to be the 16th of this month. All right? And as well, we have Passover next month. That's going to be April 1st. All right? And that's going to be at the Sterling Banquet Hall, 5475A West Sam Houston Parkway, North Houston. Zip code is going to be 77042. So it's definitely good to congregate on that day. You know, we have a lot of brothers coming from San Antonio, Albuquerque, Austin, Arizona, Dallas, So they're coming from everywhere on this high holy day. So make sure that you can plan ahead and make it out. Again, that's going to be April 1st at the Sterling Banquet Hall. The address is 5475A West Sam Houston Parkway, North Houston.
Right.
All right. And for any contributions, as you know, this work, we've been putting a lot of work. We got brothers in Trinidad. They need books, apocryphers, Bibles, whatever that you can give them. Zondervan, Bible Patrol, dictionaries, anything that your heart may want to give it. We have a monetary donation where you can send. That's going to be at a Wells Fargo account. It's going to be on the bottom of your screen. As well, we have a Google Wallet. The Google Wallet is going to be at isbhbk@gmail.com. So, as we said, anything that you can get. Listen, if it's a car, please give it. We do street teaching. If it's a truck, like I said, desks, furniture, we definitely bring in brothers off the streets that need a place to stay and get the word at the same time. So whatever your heart leads you to do, please do. But with that, go ahead and get your questions ready and send them through. So we're going to wait a little bit until we get some people added on. If everybody can send out the link so we can get some questions before the class. So with that, hold your questions. All right, we'll answer to the next class. Yeah, any questions in class? Con. So with that, we're just gonna let the priest go into his class. Hold those until Wednesday. Write them down, and we'll get back to you on that.
Y'all ready then? So I guess we'll go on into it, man. We say shalom. I'm Priest Bonabod for those that I have not met yet, man. So like I said, the brother said, we're out of the school in San Antonio, Texas. So you have to excuse my voice, man, because it's smoky in here. So I'm going to try to speak up as much as I can, and then we'll go right into basically the heart of the topic we want to go into. And what we want to do is, like I told the sister, man, the topic of this class is going to be
makings of a good relationship.
Yeah, the makings of a good relationship. That's what we want to focus on. You know what I'm saying? We always start here. The makings of the water. What we want to focus on is the makings of a good relationship does start in one place. I want a brother to get the scripture for me. It's in Corinthians.
You want First
Order.
Corinthians?
Yeah.
1 Corinthians 11
11 verse 1.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 1.
That's where we'll start at. Because, listen, for every great relationship, that's what we went into, right? We got to read it real quick.
Oh, yeah, read. Okay.
Yeah, it says for every good relationship, it's all based on one thing. It's got to start with order. Got to start with order. So the order that it has to start with is first knowing who your allegiance is supposed to be to. And that's why I feel a lot of relationships end up struggling, is because the parties of the relationship don't understand who their allegiance is supposed to be to. So even for the man to start out with, who is his allegiance supposed to be to? Read that out.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 1.
Go ahead.
Be ye followers of me.
So this is Paul said. Paul said we had to be followers of me. Go ahead.
Even as I also am of Christ.
Read on.
Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things.
Go ahead.
And keep the
He
ordinances.
said you keep the what?
The ordinances.
So I'm supposed to keep the order of this. So the first step to anything is I have to understand that I have to make sure that I am in order. Because we look at other, as a man, I'm looking at my woman, and I'm constantly telling her, you got to get in order. You got to get in order. So at what point do I stop and say, hold on, am I in order? Because I start this. I am the head of the household, so order starts with me. Got to remember that. Order starts with the man. It starts with the head of the household. Read on.
As I delivered them to you.
Go ahead.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
He said the head of every man is who?
Christ.
So why do men worship their woman then? We look at men as in America today, we do more worship in women than worship in the Most High.
Yes,
If our head is Christ, then why am I trying to figure out how to look better, how to get my hair cut right, how to get my muscle game up, how to get my money up, how to get the car right, how to get the apartment right? Because I'm trying to win the attention of who? A woman. When I was supposed to be winning whose attention?
Christ.
Christ's attention. That's my head. Just like my woman, when she put that nice dress on, when she get her hair done up, whose attention is she trying to win? That man, that husband. But as men, we start out with it backwards. We try to go make sure we get buddied up with her mother and all this. We want to buddy with the mother. We want to get close to the father. We want to make sure we take her kids out, throw the ball with them. Take a little daughter to get the hair done. I'm trying to impress this woman, but I'm out of order already. Because who was I first supposed to impress? Christ, Yahushua, right? Because that's my head. So when I'm impressing Yahushua, now I'm starting this relationship in order. Read that again.
But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the woman is the what?
The man.
So listen, you look at it. Women today, they are in order. They follow men. They follow men. Whatever stupidity this man is into, there's always a good woman behind him. I don't care what his stupidity is. If this brother's in the tattoo on the top of his head to the bottom of his feet, his woman behind him is tattooed from the top of her head to the bottom of her feet. If he's smoking out the car, she right there next to him smoking the car out. So whatever stupidity this man is in, he got a good woman behind him. He in politics, she in politics. He in school, she's in school. He laying down in the middle of the street because Black Lives Matter. She laying down in the middle of the street next to him because Black Lives Matter. They in order. They following every dumb thing we get into. They follow it. So when we start to follow Christ, guess what my woman will do?
Follow Christ.
She'll follow Christ. She'll follow Yahushua the same way.
God.
But we starting out of order. Because what we be trying to do is we learn from the world to impress women instead of learning to impress the Most High and Yahushua.
I just want to add something to that. Galatians chapter 1 verse 10. Galatians chapter 1 verse 10. Just to add on to what you're saying, brother.
Give me a reader. There you go.
Galatians chapter 1 and verse 10. For do I now persuade men?
He said, who am I trying to convince? Is this supposed to be about me trying to convince a woman to follow me, or about me following my head, which is Christ?
Right.
Who am I trying to persuade in my life that I'm trying to be righteous? Am I trying to persuade this woman that I'm righteous, or am I trying to persuade Christ that I'm righteous?
Right. And you know what? And most of the time is a brother will come into the truth, put his fringes on, headband on, the whole nine, and the whole time he's doing it because there's some cute young lady sitting in class that I was trying to do what? Impress her. So the whole time, I'm not persuading the Most High. I'm not trying to win Christ's favor. I'm trying to win this woman's attention.
Right.
So the question is legitimate. Read that again.
Galatians chapter 1 and verse 10. For do I now persuade men or God?
Go ahead.
Or do I seek to please men?
Who am I here trying to please? Am I putting on the garments or the fringes, speaking the Hebrew? You know what I'm saying? Am I doing all this for what sake? For whose sake? Am I trying to get the Most High's attention?
Right.
Or am I trying to get people's attention?
You like, brother, you reading extra loud, man. What's going on? You know, when there ain't nobody here, this is all brothers.
Whole different spirit.
You know, brother, whole spirit, different spirit. Oh, shalom, shalom, brother. Shalom. What's going on, Doc? Oh, man, you know, fighting, bro. You know, I was just in the struggle. But let there be some pretty women there on Saturday. Like, oh, brothers, he extra manly. Shalom, I'm trying to get attention. I'm trying to show that I'm on point. I'm spiritual. He like, who you trying to get attention from? But it's the truth, man. You look at a brother's Facebook, man, brothers, listen, if popularity was on your Instagram and your Facebook, oh, there'd be some righteous brothers. This brother's rough, beard is coming in, hair is long, body is oiled up. Garment tight. Garment is tight. He is an Israelite indeed. But like, who are you trying to get attention from? I'm trying to get likes. That's why I like the scripture. I say, listen, we ask the same question that Paul asked. Who are you trying to please? Is it really trying to get the attention of men? Or are you trying to get Yahweh Shai's attention? Read that again.
Galatians chapter 1 and verse 10. For do I now persuade men or God?
Go ahead.
Or do I seek to please men?
You know, only time will tell too. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is a way of drawing out your service to find out who you're here for.
Right.
Read on.
Go ahead, read.
Okay. For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of Christ.
If this is about a relationship that I'm trying to just establish with somebody, then it's no longer about Christ anymore. Right. That means I have an ulterior motive. There's another motive that I have in doing this.
Yeah, and you find out. You know how you find out? Because that young lady, now she don't want to lock in. Also, your attendance drops.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With that brother that I came because, you know, he was real chill and cool. All of a sudden, he ain't here no more. Now, all of a sudden, your desire, your interest is starting to fade out. So the Most High know who you came for. Right. This was really what about serving him.
Right.
Read on.
And one more scripture. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 35. One more verse on that topic right there.
Good. Then we're going to go back to understanding our head. Go ahead, read that.
Come on, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 25.
35.
Oh, 35, Salah.
And we're going to make sure we're not going too fast because we want everybody to hear the scriptures but understand, you know, this is about duty. You have to understand when you're in here in this truth, man, you have a duty to the Father. You have a duty to Yahweh Shai, man. You can't come in here for the wrong reason. Because it won't work that way. We're all in here for that, man. This ain't church. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people treat it, because we got this Bible out, a lot of people treat this program if it's a church. I see a young girl in there, you know, like, it's a church, man. We all been to church. We all seen cute girls in church. You looked over, you really got your new suit because you was trying to, you know, get attention. You know, you was extra smiley and joking, man, you know. You made sure you gave me that Christian hug. As many Christian hugs as you give, you was trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then there was that little, we was trying to get good in with the family. All of that. So we can go right and spend a little more time, you know, gaining her attention.
Right.
Had to get real good with her father. But I came and I was focused on all the wrong things. When you come in here, most of not building that now. You're building an army, huh? We've been building men that will come in here when I wake up our nation. The woman was supposed to be your help. Every sister was supposed to be a sister helping us do this work to wake up our nation. If it was just about them having kids and just being here to serve, being here to be in a relationship with you, then they could have stayed in the world if that's what they came for. If that's all the Most High was going to use them for. She's supposed to be a help, but if you ain't doing nothing, then how does she help? Now she going backwards. She ain't growing. How does she work out her soul salvation? If you don't work, she can't help you. So the whole time you looking back at her, she looking at you. She like, when you go to work, in the spirit, you're like that brother that stay home on the couch. Bills are stacking up. Everybody know them lazy dudes, man. Every woman in the world, they're that lazy dude. He don't go to work. He's still on the couch. When she left to work, he was in that same spot, in the same clothes. When she came home, he was in that same spot, in the same clothes, playing video games all day. In the spirit, you're doing the same thing. You're dragging your feet waiting for her. When you have a job to do, you have to go forward. You're supposed to be leading her into the kingdom. She's supposed to be following you. Leading is not just about telling somebody what to do. A great leader, a leader of a household, is going to work. I'm setting the pace. She's keeping up. That's what's supposed to be going on. So you have to realize who you're serving. So read the scripture.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 35.
Uh-huh.
And this I speak for your own profit.
Nice.
He said it's for your own good. Go ahead.
Not that I may cast a snare upon you.
Not trying to say that a relationship is not what it's supposed. You're not supposed to have a relationship,
Right.
or you're not supposed to be, growing. The scriptures say, "Be fruitful and multiply."
Right.
So the Most High is about establishing relationships.
Right.
But you have to establish a relationship with a certain mind frame. Read on.
But for that which is comely, and that ye may attend upon the Lord without distraction.
He said, "This is beautiful." He said that you establish a relationship. That's a beautiful thing. He said, but not to where you establish this relationship with the what?
Distraction.
With the distraction.
Right.
The distraction is the beauty is the relationship. The distraction is the relationship is taking me away from my servitude to Christ.
Right.
Now the relationship is more important than my servitude to Christ and the Most High. My allegiance to Christ and the Most High.
Love it.
He said that's not attractive. That's not comely. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
One more on this point too. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2.
Is that scripture?
Yeah, that's it for that.
Let that one go.
1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4.
1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4.
And I like the point he made real quick. We're not bashing relationships. Remember, the topic of the class was what?
The making of a good relationship.
Making of a good relationship.
Right.
So we're all with the relationships because this is about building.
Yep.
It's about growing. So the Most High even came back and said it was not good for man to be alone. He said you were supposed to make him a what?
Help
A
me.
help that's right for him. That means it's not the relationship's the problem. It's the man that's the problem. Or it's that woman. Because what's end up happening is my focus is off. And now she's following me in this foolishness. I'm looking at her instead of looking at serving Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we understand now we got to go back to the book to find out how do I make a good relationship. You understand?
Okay.
So read that again.
Read that. It's 1 Thessalonians 2 and 4.
1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
But as we were allowed of God to be put in trust.
Stop. It says the Most High, when you get this truth is an opportunity. It said this truth is an opportunity to be trusted by who?
God.
This is the Most High giving you the word so that he's trying to trust you with his wisdom. Can I trust you as a man that will do the most responsible thing with this wisdom? Or am I going to take this wisdom and abuse it upon my own lust just to establish relationships?
Right.
Or just to establish whatever it is my personal gain is trying to, obtain? Or am I doing this for the right reason? This is about, do I do this for the trust of the Most High? Can he trust me with the word that I won't mishandle the word?
Right.
If I mishandle the word, then I'm abusing the word.
Or my power.
And the power that comes with it.
Yep, my authority position.
Right. Now I got women locking in, do it because I'm in the household. I'm the man of the household, so I'm going to use these scriptures to put you in order, but I myself am not going to be in order with the Most High. I start slacking in my conduct or my behavior with the Most High. So with this Bible is gifted as a trust. You're going to be shown responsible with this. Read that one more time.
God. Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4. But as we were allowed of God to be put in trust with the gospel.
Go ahead.
Even so we speak.
Go ahead.
Not as pleasing men, but God.
Not about doing something that I have my own personal gain from. I'm not gaining something from this personally. This is about spreading this truth, like you mentioned earlier, about getting this word out.
Yeah.
This is about building a nation. Am I using this word to establish a relationship for the help of building the Most High's kingdom? Or am I trying to build my own personal gain and benefit and welfare and well-being? Go ahead.
Which tried our heart.
But the Most High said he'll do what?
Tried our heart.
He's going to find out what you're doing it with. What you're doing it for. Why? It will be eventually noted by the Most High, by the things that we go through, if I'm establishing this for the right reason. Because all the Most High will do is take it away.
Right.
If it's not built for the right reason, then just take it away. But you'll flourish. You'll flourish as long as the intention is right. And as long as there's no distraction in my servitude to Christ, my relationships will keep blossoming. It'll keep blooming like a flower. And there's fruit that comes from it. The fruit is the children. They will have beautiful kids, beautiful family, beautiful household, all for the servitude of the Most High in Christ.
Right.
Even everything I do is for the sake of the nation. And the Most High said he tried the heart. So it will be revealed over time, what am I doing this for? And why am I doing this?
God, I like that. Can you finish that?
Yes, finish that.
Listen, we'll go here. Go to Luke chapter 16. Even to help that point. To understand that you have a duty. That the Most High is expecting all of us to now carry out our duty. We have a job in here that we serve him. So our focus first and foremost is to who you serve, who you work for. That's supposed to be our focus. Everything else that comes in your life is supposed to be there to help you do the job even better. If I've been blessed with a wife, she's there to help me do this job. Look, if I was blessed with a car, I'm blessed with a financial job where I can now come in and contribute. It's all there to help you do the job that you were called to do for the Most High Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I want you to read Luke chapter 16. Excuse me. Luke 16, and I want you to start at verse 1.
Luke chapter 16 and verse 1.
And what we're going to do is we're going to read, you're going to read down to verse 3, and then jump down to verse 10. All right?
Luke chapter 16 and verse 1. And he said also unto his disciples, there was a certain rich man, which had a steward.
He had a what?
A steward.
So let me understand one thing. We are those stewards. Nothing here belongs to anyone. There's nothing in this, nothing on this earth belongs to anyone. Brother, the Most High left you the job to manage something. You're responsible. If I'm a husband, this one was given to me, and I'm supposed to manage this spirit. If I'm a camp head, this position is given to me so that I can now manage. Because if you look up the definition of steward, Google it real quick. Google steward. We got no time. Right? We're slowing on down. We got no time. But look up steward for a second. So I love technology, man. You can get things so fast. So brother would have got the dictionary. But look up steward. What you got on that?
Of a person who manages another's property or financial affairs.
He does what?
Manage another's property or financial affairs.
So that's what a steward does, right? He's responsible for managing someone else's property or financial affairs. So if we are the children of Israel, who do we belong to?
The Most High.
The Most High Yahweh Shai, right?
God.
So there's every man that's here, you are now put in management of what? That property. Right? My job is now, if I have a wife, then I'm responsible for this property that belongs to who? The Most High. Right? So you look at it, we're reading about that. We're reading about a certain man that was what? He was made a steward. Go ahead.
And the same was accused unto him that he had wasted his goods.
He was accused of what?
Wasted his goods.
He was being accused of the fact that, listen, you wasted your goods. That means your position, the job you're supposed to be doing, you haven't been doing the job that was given to you. You were not taking care of business. Read on.
Verse 2. And he called him and said unto him, how is it that I hear this of thee?
He said, how do I hear that you have been wasting time? Your focus is not on the job that you were supposed to be assigned to. We all got to answer to the Most High, Yahweh side of what? Have you been doing the job that you were called to do? That I told you, this is what I want you to manage. Have you been wasting time? Have you been distracted? Read on.
Give an account of thy stewardship.
He said, you got to give an account of your what?
Stewardship.
You got your works have to now speak for you. Is this woman in order? It's just starting to speak about the job you're doing. You slacking on your work. You not focused. Are you out spreading this gospel? You ain't focused. Are you dedicating and contributing to the program? You ain't focused. But you have to give an account of your management, the job that you do. Read on.
For thou mayest be no longer steward.
Because you might just lose your job. You're going to lose your position. That's what I said, many are called, but few are chosen. Because many men don't understand that they're supposed to come in here and go to work. Brothers coming in, I'm looking to come to church. I'm looking for some woman to cuddle up with, and we gonna watch Netflix together. They ain't figured out that I'm supposed to come in here and go to work. That's why these seats don't keep being full. You keep watching. I'm saying every time I come with new faces. Faces go out, faces come in. Faces go out, faces come in. Because the Most High is looking at what? Your job. If you ain't going to do the job, I'm getting rid of you. That's all that happened. Because you have to give an account of your stewardship. Read.
Verse 3. Then the steward said within himself, what shall I do?
I'm fit to lose my job. What do I do? Read.
For my Lord taketh away from me the stewardship.
The Most High said, he's about to take away your position. Because you lack focus, your position is in jeopardy. Read on.
I cannot dig.
He said, I can't dig. I can't just go back to work. I can't go back to the world. I'm used to being the man. Now I'm going to lose my position. I'm going to be a nobody. Like when I came out the world of nobody, if I don't do the job I'm supposed to, I'm going back into the world of nobody. Read on.
To beg, I am ashamed.
He said to beg. That's an embarrassment. Good. Everybody that you was in the job bragging about Israel. Man, I'm about the Most High. I'm about the Most High. Now you got a cigarette back in your mouth. Everybody looking at you like what? I thought you was about righteous, man. I thought you was down there with them brothers on the corner over there. Right. Yeah, you know how it is. I was down. I was down. I don't know what happened. Now everybody laughing at you. You need to. It's like, man, you got to be ashamed of yourself. You're an embarrassment because you didn't come in focused to do the job that you were supposed to do. So now these brothers in the truth, they see you. They be like, damn, man, oh, that brother used to be down, huh? That was a strong brother in the truth. What happened to him? Now we understand what happened to him. He got fired. Right. He got fired. That's all that happened. He got fired. But who fired him? It wasn't us. You know why? Because we fight for men every day. Brother, come on back to work, man. Brother, come on back into the truth, man. Come on, brother, come sit down and get your head right, man. Come on, sit down. Let's go over this. Let's get back in class and let's get your mind right so you can get back to work.
God.
He don't come back. It ain't us, huh? He don't want to go to work, so the Most High fired him. Many are called, but few are chosen. Read on.
Verse 4. I am resolved what to do. That when I am put out of the stewardship.
When I am what?
Put out of the stewardship.
That means you can easily be put out of the stewardship. If you don't want to take care of the responsibility that's been given to you, the scripture says you can be put out of that job. Go ahead.
They may receive me into their houses.
He said, so at least somebody will help me. I done came in this church, dissed my family, dissed all my friends. But now that I'm put out, who am I looking to go back to?
You can't go to nobody.
I'm going back to, I done took the fringes off. I done got a nice haircut. Hey, what y'all do? Y'all playing dominoes, man? Can I play?
Yeah.
Is there a cookout? Let me go and bring a butt cake or something over there, man. I gotta try to make it right with my people. Let me go on back to church so I can start making it right with the ones that I had, the relationships that I had out there. That's all I can do. But you back out there, it wasn't because somebody didn't do you right. You back out there because you didn't take the job that you were given by the Most High Yahushua seriously. You were wasting. You lacked. You were more focused on something else. So all that time you was wasted. So everybody got to the point, you got moved out of the way, somebody else took a seat. It's time to work on the next brother that wants the job. Because when it gets down to this is about your stewardship.
Good.
Do you want the job? Jump down to verse 10 now.
Verse 10, this is Luke chapter 16 and verse 10. He that is faithful.
He that is what?
Faithful.
He that is what?
Faithful.
That means I'm dedicated to the job. He that is faithful, go ahead.
And that which is least is faithful also in much.
He said, so if I'm faithful in that which is least, he said, I'll be faithful when the Most High give me much. As I said, to whom much is given, much is required. But the Most High said, if I'll be faithful of a few things, he said, he make you rule over many. So it's the same thing the Most High said here in Luke. But we understand why that was said. Every man that comes in here has a job to do. He has a responsibility to the Most High Yahushua. But the time I waste chasing a skirt, the time I waste trying to be accepted, the time I waste trying to, man, I gotta get my woman in order first. If I get my woman in order, we can come in there strong. We can serve the Most High. You a dummy. You a dummy. I'm telling you, you a dummy. She's following you. You in her way. So now she dumb because she just threw her salvation away, following a dummy who didn't understand his job. His first priority is to Yahushua because that's his head. So finish it.
And he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much.
He said, but because listen, what you do now is what you're showing the Most High what type of leader you're going to be in the kingdom. So if the Most High will give me a little, and I'm dedicated to that little, when I get to the kingdom, I'm going to be a what? A dedicated man. But if I show now that the little I give, that I'm dedicated to the little that I give, when I get to the kingdom, I'm just going to be that same guy. Undedicated, unfocused, easily distracted, irresponsible. Because that's what type of steward I am. I don't come in and do the job that I was called to do. I allowed all these other things to distract me from the job that I was called to do. And I am that irresponsible. But that's what the Most High call, the scriptures call me what? An unjust man. an unrighteous man. But we see a whole lot of them. Now we understand why they come in and then they leave. Because when you were given the job, you didn't dedicate yourself to the job that was given to you. What you focused on was, I gave myself to every distraction that Satan has thrown in front of me. He threw a nice hairdo and a skirt, and I followed it. Because I let that become my distraction. So now it became more about movies and Netflix than it was about studying that book to become a better teacher. We have to now get this right, because if you don't get it right, understand you can be replaced. Spirits come in every day. This ain't slowing down. The scriptures say you can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. So this don't slow down. And then as a man, I got to understand my position. I got to understand what I do for my nation. What I do for my family. Our people are counting on us. Our women are counting on us. Our children are counting on us.
Come on.
But we unfocused. We keep chasing foolishness. We justify video games. We justify Netflix time. That's not a part of your job description. We're supposed to be raising up our nation. We're supposed to be teaching our people. That is our job description. That is what you're responsible for. That's why the scripture said, if you love me, do what? He said, eat my baptism, so feed my sheep. I'm supposed to be out here teaching. But I'm not focused on teaching. I'm focused on coming in, looking cute, and getting some woman's attention. And now that I got that, you can tell when a brother came in for that. He the most jealous dude. Brother, my woman was, when you walked by, I was just noticing how you said shalom, man. I was just noticing how you said, brother, I just don't appreciate, the way you say shalom in my rib. You're like, it's shalom, man.
Your tone was off.
Yeah, your tone was off, man. You were saying that a little too manly. Well, I'm like, you tripping, man. That's how you know this dude is unfocused. I don't have my rib come to class out because, I be kind of noticing that, she watches. She was looking at this brother walk out the door. I'm like, your mind is in the wrong place. Nobody care about that. Your whole salvation is walking out the door, and all you focused on is what? Then you got your reward. You have your kingdom. Enjoy it. Because you won't keep the job that the Most High has given you. You won't keep it for long. And then the sad thing is, in your stupidity, you just threw away her salvation also. Because y'all's answer to make it to the kingdom is based on the fact that you do the job that you were called to do.
God.
You have a head to follow. So we got to get that locked in. I got to understand that in my mind that I have a head to follow, and my head is Yahweh Shai. Right?
God.
So from there, you finish that? You finish that. You give it up. We get that bit. Listen, from there. Give me this. Give me a.
You had a proper 12 and 8.
Get that. What was it? I said Proverbs. You said Proverbs 12 and 8.
Yeah, Proverbs 12 and 8.
Let's go here.
Proverbs chapter 12, verse 8.
Listen, we're still dealing with one thing: the duties. If that man first would understand and get his priorities ordered, everything else would start to fall into place.
God.
My first loyalty has to be to the word. My first loyalty has to, brother, if you look at some of these great brothers out here that's doing great work, but behind that man doing great work, it's a woman that had to sacrifice a lot of time. She's been home taking care of kids, feeding, getting garments ready to go, so this man can go out and do his job. Because there wouldn't be schools opened up for y'all to even come in and I'll sit down and learn if somebody didn't make the sacrifice. That's what's going on. When you log in online and you're looking at a show, who sacrificed their time to now be in there teaching when they could have been home? But these are families, these are men and women that understand the duty. And they understand what they're working for. But you're supposed to come in now and now take your place in the part of the work that you are called for. But you know, we keep having more brothers and sisters that keep jumping program to program, group to group. Every time a group requires me to work, I do what? I jump. I find some reason to justify me jumping to another group. Now, I just don't like their colors. You know, they wear all black. I ain't messing with them. I'm not wearing all black. So I'm going to go on to the next group. Every time there's some dedication that's required of me, there's some reason that I got to justify not doing it. And then dedication comes with what? Whenever you got to dedicate to something, that means something's got to sacrifice. So if I'm dedicated to being in class, that means my woman sitting at home alone. Now when she's complaining about, oh, you're always going, you're always doing this, you're always, the camp is always first. I'm like, I'm sorry, I mean, just, my loyalty has to be here first. It's supposed to be here. You fight me, I'm trying to bring salvation to you, but you fight me. You foolish. And then I'm giving my spirit to a foolish woman, all because I still got the mind frame of the world. I'm still dealing with this still lonely spirit that I had in the world, and I've been alone, so now I'm trying to find a good woman so that I don't have to be alone. You a fool. You're going to die with that woman. You're going to burn with that woman. You were supposed to be leading this household out of captivity. You got to understand that, I'm sorry, go back to 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 4. You have to understand your job. And then from there, I want you to give me Zion, give me Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22, right? And then we're going to go back. We'll do that. Read those real quickly. We're going to go back to Isaiah.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 4.
What does it say?
Every man praying or prophesying.
No, verse 3.
Verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahushua.
Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Go ahead.
And the head of Yahushua is Yahweh.
So everybody has to now pledge allegiance. Everyone falls in order. I have my duty, my obligation is to serve Yahushua. His obligation is to serve the Most High. Your woman's obligation is to serve you. The problem is not the fact that she won't get in order. You won't get in order. She was designed to follow you.
We'll bring in this point, Hebrews chapter 5, just to bring in this point about how everybody's responsible and accountable for being in order.
Right.
Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 8.
Hebrews chapter 5 verse 8. though he were a son.
Now we're talking about Yahweh Shai, right? He was a son. He's the son of the Most High, right? Son of Yahweh. Even as a son, what was the criteria that Yahweh Shai had to undergo to prove his loyalty and his obedience to his father? Read.
Yet learned he obedience.
So even he had to be put to the test to see what he was about,
Right.
to see if he qualified to be this son to inherit this kingdom,
Yep.
and to sit at the right hand of the Father.
You had to prove what?
He had to prove himself.
God.
You know what we don't understand is that we're still in, Christ already proved himself.
Right.
We're in the position of proving ourselves,
Right.
and we forget that we're in that position.
God.
We haven't committed ourselves so much to what Christ has done, to where we can say, I deserve to be sitting at the right hand of the Father yet.
Right.
We're still in a proving ground with the Most High right now. Every day, I'm still proving to the Most High that I'm loyal and I'm deserving to be in this kingdom, sitting on the right hand side of Yahweh Shai. And we got to operate every day with that mentality. That this is not about proving myself to a woman. This is about proving myself to the Most High that I deserve that kingdom. Because if he's going to do that to his own son, are we not better? Are we better than Christ? So what makes us think that we don't have to prove ourselves anymore? We still got to convince the Most High that we deserve this kingdom. Read that again.
Though he were a son.
Go ahead.
Yet learned he obedience.
You know what obedience is? Obedience is the capability to follow. Do I have the capability to follow? Do I know how to obey, to listen, to hearken? To hearken means to listen and follow. Can I do what I'm told? That has to be put to the test, because a lot of brothers, like you said, once you check a brother and correct a brother, I don't like this camp no more.
Right.
I ain't got the truth. The truth not here. I came for the truth, and the truth wasn't here. Because he can't handle getting checked. Well, Christ got checked by his Father.
Right.
He got put to the test. So part of that being a man is I gotta take my lickings from the Most High.
Yeah. That's it.
I gotta learn how to take correction from the Most High, so I can prove that I deserve this what he's giving me.
Right. I got to be up under men and have to prove that I'm obedient. Because the man's not supposed to be obedient to his woman. Who is he supposed to be obedient to? Yep, and at that point, you know what it'll be? It says, obey them that have the rule over you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be subject to the masters that the Most High put over me. I'm supposed to prove, I still even have to come in here and prove that I am obedient. That I can follow. I can follow. I'm supposed to prove that. But what I'm trying to do is not follow the Most High Yahweh Shai. I'm trying to follow who? My woman. Because I'm making sure that there's a bond, that we have a bond. I'm not focused on that bond that I'm supposed to have with the Most High Yahweh Shai and the men over me. Because they give an account of my spirit, like the scriptures say. This woman don't give an account of my spirit. She said, it's her me. These men give an account of your spirit.
God.
They speak for you. Read on.
Yet learned he obedience by the thing which he suffered.
So part of this truth is understanding too that as I serve Christ, as I serve Yahweh Shai, there's some things and some changes that I have to make. There's some things that got to be corrected about me. And I got to open myself up to be corrected. Just like a woman has to open herself up to be corrected by that man. If you build in a household, there's some things about your woman you're not going to like that you're going to see. That you're going to have to try to adjust. And just as much as you would want her to make those adjustments to please you, the Most High is asking for men to make those same adjustments to please Christ.
There you go.
Nobody's exempt from these adjustments. Nobody's exempt from this correction. Nobody's exempt from following, for being obedient. You know what I'm saying? We have a job to do as much as they have a job to do. We have a job to do.
God.
Our job is even that much more critical.
There you go. That's it. That's all on point. Go ahead, Zion, please, scripture.
And this is
Was that it for that one? That was it?
That was it. That's it.
Pull this real quick.
This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and verse 5.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and verse 5.
Wisdom of
Who got it? You got it now?
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 5.
And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded.
Yeah, I like that, because just like Christ, how he was chastised, he had to go through of being to show that he's obedient,
right.
But he was greatly rewarded. We're going through the same thing. Read.
For the Most High proved them,
right,
and found them worthy for himself.
No, worthy for his wife.
For himself.
Worthy for the homies.
For himself.
Yeah, we worthy for the Most High, and that's why we go through the things we go through.
Right. Do you think brothers are coming in? I'm just trying to be worthy so I can get this person's attention. I'm in here man pleasing. I'm trying to get the attention of this woman. I'm trying to get a little fame and a little notoriety. You know, I wanted somebody to give me the strong salute. You want it all for the wrong reasons. I'm supposed to go through these things I go through the things that I go through because I'm trying to be found worthy of the Most High. So read that again.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 5. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded.
He said, but the little that I'm going through, the little obedience that's required of me, when I go through that, he said, then you become greatly rewarded. Read on.
For the Most High proved them.
He did what?
He proved them.
So how was I being tested? How was I being proven that I am worthy? I endured whatever things that was asked of me. I showed myself that I was obedient to the Most High. So you know what? Even if I didn't have the woman, I'm still here just as dedicated. So the brothers told me I had to be here this time in the morning. I ain't mad. But I can't be there, man, because you know we're going through something. Well, you better go to work. You don't tell the devil that.
Right.
We sure don't tell the devil that. He caught John. Are you coming in today? Yes, sir. I'll be there. Matter I'm 15 minutes early. Now when it's time for me to go to work for the Most High, I'm heading. Listen, bro, man, I don't think I'm gonna make it out. Bro. You know, we almost fighting all night, man. Like, you better go to work. You in jeopardy of losing your job. Brother, my spirit ain't right out. How's she messing up? She following you. How does she have the power and authority to mess your spirit up when she's following you? She's behind you. Maybe you need to turn around. That's the problem. You looking back instead of looking forward. Go to work. That's your job. But as I'm being tested, every time I'm tested, I'm failing because I'm not realizing that this is a test. The Most High is trying to prove my loyalty. My woman in order. Test. I'm financially struggling. Test. Are you going to endure this? Are you going to go to work? Because you still have a duty to perform. You are still responsible for something. Read on.
And found them worthy for himself.
Go ahead.
As gold in a furnace hath he tried them.
He said, as gold in a furnace have he done what?
He tried them.
Every gold. All gold is tried. How do you try gold? I heat.
You got different kind of gold tests. You got acid tests, you know, corrosive tests. You got a foul test to scrape it off to see if it's, you know, nickel on the outside, gold in the middle.
Yep.
You got magnetic tests to see if it magnetized to a magnet.
Or I'm finna break it down. We finna get rid of all the impurities, all the things.
Heat it up, right?
Yep, we're gonna heat it up and get rid of all the things that make this gold weak. So that's what this program does. Everything we go through in the spirit is to pull out the weaknesses in you. And all you do is do one thing. I'm steady trying to fight to hold on to my weaknesses, but you can't hold on to them. Fire burns everything. The gold survives.
Right. That's what makes 24 karat gold
Yeah,
the best gold.
That's what makes it valuable.
Right.
Gold always survives. So there's a party that's going to survive. But you're going to be, there's a lot that's going to be, you'll be less and less of a man to the world standards. Because this world has made us weak.
Right.
All this world has taught us is how to now have all the weaknesses about our spirit. We ain't fit to be called men. You're supposed to be in here cleaning yourself up, refining yourself, strengthening yourself. So now you know what? As your woman's following you, every woman in the world that says she got a good man, she's a lie. Because she got to, we know what the world creates. Because you bring him into the truth, we'll see if he's a good man or not. Bring him on. Listen, come through these doors. We're going to put the fire on them. Listen, we put brothers to 100 push-ups, they'll break. Man, I ain't doing them push-ups, huh?
Not even 150. 50.
This program we're breaking about. Listen, let's go to the corner, huh? But you got to get in order. Let him go a month straight and come to class, man. He buckling already. Oh, you know, brother.
You got no time.
I ain't got no time, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm lacking. I'm not. This didn't sound finding. This is, for some reason, you know, the man getting broke because he be finding scriptures to justify his weakness. He said, the Most High, what the scriptures say, you know, if a man don't take care of his own household, he's worse than an infidel. You was taking care of your household. You was bringing them salvation. But all that's been exposed is the weaknesses in you. I don't care how big you look. Everybody, listen, he can bench whatever you want to bench. He can come in here looking like a goon. Give us 6 months. Sometimes less than that. 6 months. He'll be up out of here like a little girl. Because this truth breaks the spirit of a man. And it brings out, it exposes all of your weaknesses. Because that's what this fire is about. It's about refining you. So every time it's shown, you got to now embrace that. You got to understand, the Most High showing me my weaknesses, now I got to refine. I got to get better. I got to get stronger because my nation requires that. Because my family requires that. It's time to stand up and be men. That's what we lacking. So read that last verse again.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and verse 6. As gold in the furnace hath he tried them.
Read on.
And received them as a burnt offering.
He said, this is the way you get received. This is the way you now get chose by the Most High. This is how we make it to the kingdom. The one thing that pleased the Father is the fact that those impurities are gone. Yep. I'm looking for men of strength. I'm looking for men of wisdom. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. That's
Proverbs 12 and 8.
There you go.
Proverbs chapter 12.
Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 8.
Proverbs chapter 12 verse 8. A man shall be commended according to his wisdom.
Read it again.
A man shall be commended according to his wisdom.
Read that again.
A man shall be commended according to his wisdom.
He said a man is supposed to be commended according to his wisdom. I'm not commended, but listen, we coming from the world. A man is commended based on how tall he is.
Right.
How big his muscles are.
What kind of car you drive.
How deep the waves are, man. If you ain't got the waves rolling, man, you ain't no man.
Right.
If you ain't got a degree, you ain't no man. If you ain't got no car, you ain't no man. We following foolishness. I'm commended, if it's about my wisdom, from everything that the Most High put me through, I use wisdom. I let someone show me how to get out of it, how to fix this, how to correct that. That's what we're supposed to be commended for. So if I'm a woman, I'm supposed to be looking at my man. I'm not supposed to be looking at how big his muscles are. How much baby oil he put on. I say baby oil because some of these cats be baby oil brothers, man. They be on Facebook. They be on Facebook oiled up. Oiled up. Most lay in the gym. Like, I don't know how the gym is going to make you wiser. If I was assistant at you, I'd be doing what? I'd be sitting back watching you break. I want to see what you do under pressure. But by the time I done fell for the waves and the baby oil and the muscles, it's too late. I married a coward. Because under pressure, he does what? He breaks because he does not use what?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. The correct way to apply what I'm learning. I'm writing down stuff in this book, but now when I'm under pressure, I won't use what I'm writing down in the book. That ain't a man. I can't commend you for that. Oh, you're a man or a boy. Children break. Children run. Children quit. As a man, you don't have that option. You have responsibilities. You have a job to do. Men endure, and they use wisdom to endure what they're going through. So read that again.
God, a man shall be commended according to his wisdom. But he that is of a perverse heart.
He that is of a what?
Perverse heart shall be despised.
Somebody look up perverse. You know, sometimes the Bible uses these big words. I got a ghetto education, so I like the dictionary. I ain't gonna lie to you. I need to understand what a perverse mind is. Because he that is of a perverse mind, he will be hated. Give it to me, Lamont.
It says, willfully determined or disposed to go counter
to go what?
To go counter.
Hold on, you got to slow down and read that loud so that you can understand what type of man end up being hated.
It says, willfully determined.
This is what I do. I'm always determined to do what?
Or disposed to go counter.
To go what?
Counter.
I go backwards. I do things backwards. I do things the opposite. Wisdom is telling me to do it this way. I am always doing the wrong thing. I'm always doing it the wrong way. Read.
To what is expected.
To what is what?
Is expected.
So the Most High expects me to go this direction. That's what a man would do. A man goes in the direction that he's expected to go, that he's learned. The man that is despised is the one that keeps going the opposite. He's a coward. I won't go through what I'm supposed to go through. I'm going to keep running backwards. That man will always end up being hated. So if I'm following my woman, and now she's emotional, she's got me going this direction. We can't do this. We can't go. Look at the toll it's taking on our relationship. Look what's happening in our household. You got us going the wrong direction. As a man, I'm supposed to do what? Now the scriptures say this. I got to go this way. I got to lead us through this. This is a test of our faith. Are we going to leave? Are we going to stay up in here and do this work? But as soon as you do what? Damn, baby, you might be right. You know what? You're right, man. Brothers be tripping anyway.
They don't understand.
You know, because I always yelling at everybody. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like messing with my body. And Michelle was just too cynical. I don't even like listening to the shows no more. Because brothers it's always their way or no way. I'm a man too. I got ideas too. I fought with her and all that foolishness, and then when it fails, guess who she hated? Guess who she turned on? You, dummy. See, and you the scapegoat. I was following you. As soon as it messed up, guess what she's counseling with? Those same brothers. Do you think we have counsel? I don't understand him. He's tripping. He got us out here smoking. You wanted to go back to the world? Remember? This direction was too hard. So now we back out here doing it over here. You don't like it out here though. You know, he won't come to Sabbath class no more. We don't pray together. He ain't in the spirit. He was following you. I wanted him to do a little more with me. I didn't want him to get wicked. We always the bad guy when we get wicked. But you forgot I came out the world and I was trying to get right. But you don't want the righteous man. You want a little bit of the wicked. You want that slothful man. So I followed you. Now you don't like this wicked man that I become. But you got to look at it, huh? And once I show us one thing, you would become the man that's hated because of what you did. You're going against the counsel and the teaching and the direction that the Most High got you going in. You understand?
Go on.
You can't. It's the spirit. I love it. You can't follow it. Please, scriptures.
I want to get two scriptures. Let me get 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 7. Verse 7 through 10.
1 Peter chapter 5 verse 7.
You know, as I'm talking about, we just read that as gold is tried in the fire. So as the intensity starts to pick up of being in the truth, because the Most High is a consuming fire. So the more that I come in, the more I realize that I'm indebted to Christ, the more work I have to do. I have to get busier with Christ. And that alone starts to break men. That alone starts to pull on men. The fact that I got to increase my workload. I got to increase my work ethic. Right? Read this right here.
1 Peter chapter 5 verse 7. Casting all your care upon him.
But if I know what's good for me, the more I come to class and the more I start to dedicate myself, and the more that's required of me by Christ, the more I'm supposed to cast my care upon him. Now, instead of looking at my woman for, you're supposed to be there for me, you're supposed to comfort me, you're supposed to do this for me, I'm looking towards the scriptures, and I'm looking towards the Most High to bring me that comfort. Most of the time, the natural instinct when we touch fire is to jump away. That's instinctive. That's embedded in our nature. That when we touch something hot, your reflexes tell you, by the time it hit your brain and went from your nerves to your brain, that's hot. Don't pull back. That's too hot. Don't touch it. That's the natural response that a man does when he touches anything that's hot. So it's no different also when we're in this truth. The minute it starts to become uncomfortable, the natural process of a man is to, let me start to pull back. Let me start to slow down my work that I'm doing. Let me start to, make sure that I got enough, comfort and spending time with my wife and spending time with kids, and let me spend time and making sure I'm taken care of, and I got some liberty, and let me start salvaging myself. But we got to learn how to, as the heat increases, we have to learn how to lean that much more on the Most High. That's how you not oppose and go in the opposite direction. Like we read the definition of perverse. You said the definition of perverse. You read that again?
It says willfully determined.
I'm willfully determined to do what?
Or disposed to counter to what is expected.
So that's automatic. That's natural. We gonna come out of the world with this mentality to automatically be disposed in the mind, to have the mental disposition to pull away from heat, or to pull away from trouble, or to pull away from adversity, or to pull away from things that the Most High is required of me to change. The natural mind frame is, I'm going to run. But if you want to be great in Christ, if you want to be a proper leader of your household in Christ, the best thing to do is to learn how to, as things get more uncomfortable, lean on the Most High. Right. Now I start to cast all my cares on him. Now I'm not worried about, if I got my woman in my ear telling me, if we don't take care of this, if you don't give me this attention or whatsoever, then we're going to lose it. then you know what? If I lose it for Christ's sake, I have to have enough faith that the Most High will bring it back to me.
There you go.
So I gotta start having the capability of leaning on the Most High for everything, and stop having this fear of loss as I commit myself more and further into the Most High. Read on.
Come on, it's right on time, God.
For he careth for you.
Because ultimately what the Most High is trying to get me to see is you don't have to lean on your own wisdom. He said if a man is known according to his wisdom, the proper wisdom is let me lean and trust more on the Most High. That's the greatest thing I can do. Because if a woman do leave, who's still going to be there for me? Who's still going to show that he cares for me? If I go to jail, who do I have left? That's all you got. So no matter what your condition is, what the Most High is trying to get us to the point through different adversities that we can trust him more than we can trust riches, finances, relationships, family, friends, whatever, jobs, career. We got to start detaching ourselves from the way that the world tells us that, you know, this is my stability. He said, the Most High cares for me. Whether I lose it all, do I know that the Most High still cares for me? He wants us to have that disposition versus that perverse disposition.
Right.
Read on.
Be sober.
He said that's why you got to be conscious. You got to be careful. Sober means aware. I'm clear in my mind. I'm not influenced. I'm not distracted.
There you go.
I'm conscious of what's going on around me. I understand the power behind words that people say. Well, man, you read the Bible too much. You know, you go to class too much. You know, you ain't spend enough time with your family. You ain't got enough time for yourself.
You're never off.
Yeah, you look at you. You got bags under your eyes. You look tired all the time. You're not the same person. You got to be careful with what these words that people come at you with, because they have power. And they can distract you and pull you away from leaning on the Most High for everything. Read on.
Right, and now I'm influenced. Those words have an influence on me. I'm trying to weaken you, not intentionally.
Right.
I'm not gonna sit here and all these women is just, these are wicked. No, they're not. They genuinely care, like a mother.
Right.
Mothers are very nurturing. But I have to understand, as a man, I have a job to do. So listen, I understand I'm being tested. If I understand that I'm being tested and the Most High wants me to use his wisdom, then I have to now go that direction, because his wisdom is what I'm expected to use. I created the battlefield that you're going to go through, and I'm expecting you to use my wisdom here. That's your test. That's what you're called into. Go ahead.
Read on.
Be vigilant.
He said be vigilant. Vigilant means aware on all sides.
God.
I'm careful at what I entertain.
Right.
I'm careful what I listen to. I'm careful on what I let come into my mind. I don't even listen to my own self, because even our own flesh will tell us and deceive us and lie to us and tell us we need a break, we need rest, we need time off, we're doing too much. You got to be careful even with your own mind.
Right.
Your own mind will deceive you. Maybe I am going to class too much. Maybe I am studying too much. Maybe I am reading the Bible too much. That's deception. Read on.
Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walking about, seeking whom he may devour.
Seeking whom he may influence. And that's the power that the devil has, is his influence.
Right.
But if I don't allow no influence to come in, and the one thing that he'll always influence you to do is to not suffer for Christ's sake.
There you go.
He'll always try to remove your disposition or mind frame to suffer.
I'm always going to try to get you to do one thing. Run. Because
Yep.
you've been conditioned to run. Every time it gets hard, you run. That is a perverse mind. That is what this world is already conditioned. From everything that's gotten hard. If it's sports, if it's education, no matter what we've encountered out here, our first thought is to quit, is to run, is to give in to our weaknesses. The fire I'm going through is getting rid of that spirit in me. The Most High is developing that man in you. That man that can be respected because he's commended according to his wisdom. Go ahead.
Whom resist steadfast.
You gotta know what you're listening to. You gotta know what you're paying attention to and who you're serving and why you're here. Read on.
In the faith.
He said you gotta do what?
Who
resist
steadfast in the faith.
Knowing that, you know what, this is just going to be temporary.
In the faith.
This is the Most High just put me through a test because he's trying to find out, can I follow?
Yep.
Do I qualify for this kingdom?
Will I be obedient?
Will I be obedient? Will I follow Christ no matter what? He said, I know that this is about me being steady in the faith, that this is trying to knock me out of my faith. Go ahead.
Knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
But if I know better, I know that the Most High is doing this for every son. The Most High said in Proverbs chapter 3 that he chasteneth every son he loves.
There you go.
Whom he loveth, he chasteneth. I know that I'm not the only one that's having this same situation in these pulls on me to stop dedicating to Christ. I know I'm not the only one. I got to know that this is the test that all the men that serve the Most High are going through. They all going to get pulled by their women. They all going to get pulled by their business, their household, family members. Yeah. This is a natural process.
The things you lose, from the things you lose, the money you have sacrificed,
the changes you got to make.
You go through, everything is a battle. Everything is a pull. And we all go through the same pulls. We all go through the same exact pulls.
We're not alone.
But the test is to figure out, if I'm going through the pull, I'm not alone going through it. But will I endure it? Do I believe?
And just on the definition of steadfast, it says immovable. It says firm in belief, determination, or adherence, loyal.
That's what the Most High want to know.
Are you firm in belief?
Are you that firm in your belief in Christ?
Yeah, man.
It says committed, devoted, dedicated, dependable,
wow,
reliable, constant, solid, unwavering.
So Satan's objective is to test all these things.
Yes.
That's his objective. I'm going to see if I can get this guy to move. If I can get this guy to quit, run, give up, back off, take a break, take a back seat, now keep pushing forward. Read on.
But the God of all grace.
But the Most High said he's a God of all grace. He give us opportunity. Read.
Who had called us into his eternal glory.
Go ahead.
By Mashiach Yahushua. After that ye have suffered a while.
And so even the Most High, Yahweh is telling me that this suffering is only for a while.
God.
Because this is a test. So it's not forever. It's just a test for a while. Go ahead.
Make you perfect.
And what shall happen if you pass the test?
Make you perfect.
You'll be what kind of man?
Perfect.
What else?
Established.
You'll be a man that's established. You'll be grounded.
Yes, man.
You'll be a grounded man in the truth.
Wow, so it's like saying this is what's building you.
Right.
This is what every man that you've watched, every elder that you watch had to go through to be established. Now he sits in that seat, but he's in that seat not because he was able to write down a bunch of breakdowns, and because I learned the breakdowns, now this is what's making me an elder. Because we watch a lot of men that have done that. A lot of young brothers went through anything, but I had the right look, I had fire in my voice. You know, I had a good woman that could sew, and she sewed me some beautiful garments. So now I'm sitting there like, I got the whole showdown. I got the deep talk. I got the as you read along, come on. You know, I got all the right sayings to make me deep. Read on, brother. Come on.
Bring it out.
Bring it out. But it ain't till you put a little fire in that dude, and guess what? His whole tone done change. Whole attitude is different. He ain't leading anymore because that broke him. He wasn't steadfast. He really didn't believe. That's why when you read Romans chapter 8, and I'm not going to go there, I'm just going to quote it, 8 and 35. It says, who shall separate me from the love of the Most High? Or Yahushua, right? He said, what's supposed to separate you? But we watch a lot of tests. We watch men come in and out. You think this brother's fired up, he dedicated, all of a sudden he gone. What broke him? Inquiring minds do want to know. What broke that man? No fire. He wasn't as dedicated as he thought he was. He didn't believe that word like he thought he did. He enjoyed the dress. He thought we was a militant group. I like the strong look in the boots. I like the fact that they get to tell people what they can go to that Bible and I can prove everybody wrong in that book. I like the fact when they go on the street, they get to call the white man the devil. Man, they just call the white man the devil.
Live TV?
I want to join that group. Them brothers is powerful. They call him the white man the devil. Then they come up in here, and all of a sudden now, dedication, focus, change, humility, obedience. All these things that are expected of me start to break me. Many are called, but few are chosen. You got to now ask yourself, what type of man are you? Because what's separating you from this love, from this word? Go ahead.
Finish that.
Last precept. Make you perfect.
It makes you perfect. Read.
Establish.
Establish. Go ahead.
Strengthen.
It strengthens you. The test that the Most High put you through is not to break you. It's to make you stronger.
Right.
And when you look at gold, the more heat, like you said earlier, the more heat you put on it, the more pure the compound, the more pure it becomes. So the Most High put you through things to make you better, not to break you. And if I can relate that everything that I'm going through in this truth is to make me stronger and to make me more pure, then I can accept the process. And if I accept this process, then the Most High gives me a woman who will also accept the process.
Yep.
That's the beauty of it. He gives me a woman that will accept the same process. She will embrace change like I embrace change. Read.
Settle you.
It'll settle you. It'll keep you from being anxious, having anxiety, fear, panic attacks, depression. All these things that we go through, the Most High is refining our thought process. Now I don't have to smoke nothing to get a break, to take it. I don't have to drink, depend on drinking, smoking. Man, I need a cup of coffee. I need whatever it is, these addictive things that we give ourselves to, this nature that we have. I don't have to lean on that for a little bit of comfort. I don't have to lean on none of those things. Now I've learned to lean on the Most High for everything.
You gotta read this for you, right? Just gotta read this, man.
This is 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 21.
It goes perfect with what you bring it out. Read it.
It says, if a man therefore...
Slow down. Read it again.
If a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor.
He's a vessel to what?
Unto honor.
That means I got to purge out all my weaknesses. I got to stand for righteousness. But I can only be a man of honor because I've purged myself of all these things. I've allowed myself to get rid of those impurities, those weaknesses. But I come in here, and as soon as I'm not focused on cleaning myself up, now all of a sudden, everything's an attack. My mama's attacking me, my woman's attacking me, her mama's attacking me. Her daddy, the job, the old friends, everybody is on me about who I am. But I'm trying to clean myself up so I can be honorable in the eyes of the Most High. Because I'm supposed to work to be a vessel of honor. Read.
Sanctified.
What?
Sanctified.
Washed. Cleaned up. Because I'm coming from a world where all I've done has been filthy. Go ahead.
And meet for the master's use.
And now I'm help. I'm the right type of help for the Most High to use me. I'm the right type of help. That's what you're supposed to be coming in working towards. As a man, I'm cleaning myself up so that I can be the right help for the Father. Just like I clean my woman up so she's the right help for me. Got to be focused. Got to understand what you're doing in here. Why are we in this book? While we in this truth, you have to understand it. While we do this work, men have come in here and worked on dedicating and cleaning themselves up so that they can be used by the Father. Not put on a show, not play the part. We working this, and this is about working on your own soul salvation. You have to clean up. You have to clean up to be saved. Is that it? Read on.
And prepared unto every good work.
And prepared for what?
Every good work.
So what is going on now? This is the preparation stage. This is where the Most High is preparing you to do good works. But I got to clean up. I have to clean up. Real quick, hold that. Give me, what's supposed to say about? Come on now. Jeremiah. Give me Romans chapter 12, verse 1 and 2 real quick. Romans chapter 12, verse 1 and 2. And then give me Job. Hold that. And we'll get that one.
Go.
Then give me Job. Read it.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren.
He said, listen, this is Paul saying. Paul said, I beseech you, I beg you, therefore, brethren. Read on.
By the mercies of God.
Read.
That ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
But to who?
Unto Yahweh.
But we're sitting presenting our bodies a living sacrifice to the world. We present our bodies a living sacrifice to the woman. We will not present our bodies a living sacrifice to the Most High Yahweh. He said, I beseech you that you present your body a living sacrifice. Read.
Holy.
It has to be what?
Holy.
I mean cleaned up. Without spot. Washed. Go ahead.
Acceptable unto God.
It has to be what?
Acceptable unto God.
So how does it become acceptable? What did the Most High look to say was going to be acceptable? It has to go through that fire so that it can be acceptable to Him. As gold is tried in the fire, so are acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So the things that I go through are making me acceptable in the eyes of the Most High Yahweh. You understand? That's what we're here doing. I'm here proving myself. I'm proving and working so that I can be accepted by the Most High. I can be accepted by Yahweh. Not in here being distracted because I'm still trying to be like I was in the world and be accepted by some woman. So I'm hoping that we go into this class, and this is not attack the woman class, right?
Right.
She's doing her job. If you get in order, what's she gonna do?
Get in order.
She gonna lock in. She been looking for a strong man anyway. She been looking for a strong, dependable man. She just didn't understand he has to be tested. He's got to be tried. He just ain't in the gym. He got abs. He said abs don't make you dependable. He said that baby oil don't make you dependable. I keep going to baby oil. I'm sorry, y'all. Because I can't get that out of my head. That shiny brother, he ain't dependable. That man that has been tried, that's the man that's dependable. That's the one the Most High will give more to. That's the one the Father said, and I've told the brother to hold the scripture, but I'm going to quote it. This is a wicked woman is given a part to what?
A wicked man.
So if I'm still that man that hasn't been tried, that hasn't been cleaned up, what type of woman am I getting? The same type of woman. She's as wicked as I am. Because we both haven't, I haven't cleaned up. If I ain't cleaned up, how am I clean her up? If I'm not loyal, how am I expecting loyalty from her? So she's going to be whatever I am. It said, but a righteous woman, she's given to who? Him that fear the Lord. Okay. That means my first dedication was to the Most High, so the Most High brought me a good woman. So I ain't got to dance my way to find a good woman. I don't got to oil my body up for a good woman. I ain't got to do all that. I ain't got to be in the mirror brushing waves. I ain't got to clean the shave up a little bit. I ain't got to do all those things. The Most High is going to bring me the type of woman that's looking to follow what? Righteousness. But listen, righteousness is earned. You don't get it because you put a headband on. You don't get it because you have the scriptures on. You have fringes. Or you got a notebook full of scriptures. Is what will you endure? What will you now use wisdom to get you through? That is the test. That's what the Most High want to see. You in your battle. Are you going to use my wisdom? That's a righteous man. That's a wise man. Now, I'm going to give him a woman to help him. Because he follows after righteousness. But I came in dressing the part, talking the part. I got the words down. You know what I'm saying? I'm Bashama Mashiach Yahushua. I'm following the anointed Savior, baby. I said all the right words to get her attention. But now she's like, where we going? You following Christ. You played the part like you following Yahushua. Now, as soon as adversity, what do we happen? You fade. You getting weak. You ain't coming around. You ain't as dedicated as you was before. Even she noticing it. You know, your spirit was always so much pleasant when you was in class. Now you're drinking a little more. You're a little more angry. When you playing the heck out of the video games, what's going on? I'm going to the brothers to find out what's wrong with you. You guys better call him, man, because he's going through something. We was working on him. Maybe you should have waited. As a woman, I was supposed to wait for the finished product. Wait to see what he's endured and gone through, so I can see the strength. And stop looking at baby oil. Color eyes. He got the waves in his hair. He got a funny joke. We follow foolishness, but we doing what the world does. I'm reading profiles.
Right. Horoscopes.
Yeah, horoscopes, man. Profiles. I'm looking at this, or that woman does the wrong thing. I found a guy that I can somewhat control. He listens to me. You are a dummy. Why do I say that man that listened to that woman is a dummy? Give me Job real quick, right? Chapter 39 and verse 17. And this is not an attack on women. This is an attack on stupidity. Give me Job chapter 39 and read verse 17.
Job chapter 39, verse 17.
Hold up, let everybody get it. We're going to slow down. All right? Job chapter 39 and verse 17. Read that.
Because Yahweh hath deprived her of wisdom.
He deprived her of what?
Of wisdom.
Hold on. What is wisdom?
The
What is wisdom? The correct application of what? Right? Wisdom is the correct application of knowledge. So the Most High said he deprived her of that correct way to apply knowledge. How was she deprived of the correct way to apply knowledge? Because the scripture says, and ye the flock my pastures are men. So if the Most High is trying to show the man how to correctly apply knowledge, he is not doing that for the woman. It's the man's job to do what? Show her how to apply the knowledge. I didn't give it to her. What he was saying was, I didn't give it to her. That's your job to give it to her. My job was to give it to you. So you a dummy See, they're listening to somebody who was deprived of knowledge. They've gotten the knowledge. They're in here getting the same scriptures you're getting. But who are we showing how to apply it the right way?
Me.
Crazy thing is, the Most High got the man going through the battle.
Right.
The fire's on you, not her. She's the weaker vessel. She ain't going through what you're going through. Your job is to go through the fire. Your job is to go through the fire, and then you help her through the fire. But you listening to somebody that don't even got the wisdom to go through this fire. It wasn't given to her, it was given to you. The battle is not for her, it's for you. She's following you. If you make it through, she makes it through. If you don't make it through, neither does she. So you got to understand, that's why I said it's not an attack on women. This is an attack on stupidity. She is following you. You are the guide. You are the savior. Oh, come on, man. Give me Ephesians chapter 5. Let me stop talking about it and we can read it.
Ephesians.
Chapter 5, verse 22.
Chapter 5 and verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband.
He says she's supposed to submit herself to you. That is the order that's ordained by the Father. She's supposed to submit herself unto you. Read.
As unto the Most High.
Like she's submitting herself to the Most High himself. You are her Savior. You are her way into the kingdom. That's why I say you following stupidity. Read on.
For the husband is the head of the wife.
Go ahead.
Even as Hamashiach is the head of the church.
Read on.
And he is the Savior of the body.
So what is that man to the household? He's the Savior. No different than Yahushua is our Savior. So if Yahushua didn't make it, will we make it?
Nah.
So if the man don't make it, does she make it?
Nah.
That's the scripture trying to show us. But we follow stupidity. Man, you doom your whole family. You doom your seed. You doom your woman. Because you're weak. Because I look for that excuse to get weak, to quit, and not use wisdom. But she can't give you the wisdom to get through what you got to go through. That's what the men over you are supposed to be giving you. They give you the answers to get through the problems that you're going through. But we're too busy trying to turn to our woman to get us through what we're going through. That's stupidity. That's not her job. Read on.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ.
As the church is what?
Subject unto Hamashiach.
Go ahead.
So let the wives be to their own husbands.
Let the wives be what?
To their own husbands.
Be subject.
So the wife is supposed to be subject to her own husband in what?
Everything.
No, in some things.
Everything.
In the things that she feels.
Everything.
But he's got to listen to me on some points.
Everything.
I may know this more than him.
Everything.
She got to be subject to him in everything pertaining to what battle y'all going through. Because his household is going to be tested by the Father. And as we get tested, if I'm supposed to be the one I'm supposed to be the one taking the blood of this. I have to understand my position. Give me that. Give me is that it? No. What about the golden fur and the other one? He's a high. Read that. Get that. Get those. Hold up. We gonna get a
Isaiah.
Joe.
You want Isaiah
I have, like I'm saying.
Isaiah.
I got to understand my position. That's it.
Chapter 32, verse 2.
Because you have to understand that duty of a man. You got to understand, he said, even for a woman, I'm writing these scriptures down. Because I'm supposed to understand what my man's duty is. His duty is not to look cute in the house, be oiled up, muscle bound. Yes, but that's not his duty, man. His duty is to get us through this. Right. We're supposed to come through the other side of this, man. His wisdom led us out of the wickedness of this world. Read it.
Isaiah. You want me to read it?
You read it. What you got?
Isaiah chapter 32, verse 2.
Go ahead.
And a man shall be as a hiding place.
He shall be as a what?
As a hiding place.
Go ahead.
From the wind.
He said from all the things that the turmoil is out here, this man is supposed to be what for this woman?
And a hiding place.
And what the problem is, we trying to hide behind them. You're supposed to be up front, taking the blood of this. You're supposed to have the wisdom to lead your family out. Go ahead.
And a covert.
And a what?
And a covert.
A protection. Read.
From the tempest.
From what is it? From all of the storms, all the things that hit this household. Who's supposed to be the covering? He is. We up under her skirt. Her skirt can't save you, man.
Right. Mama.
Right. Trying to find this. We still trying to find mama. I'm telling you, big kids, man. So as soon as the brother go up to that fire, who do you go back? He go to his mom. I ain't going to my daddy. Because my daddy going to tell me to do what? I'm going to stand up and be a man? Right. What you want me to do? I'm already in my fire. Right. You better gird up. That's why listen, you out here. Remember, you a man. That's right. Then be a man for your family now. Go on. Gird up. Use wisdom and get through this. So now I want to hear that. I'm going where? I'm going to mama. I got to get up in that skirt. I need some of mama's biscuits to get me through. She's like, come on, baby. Just come on, get this meal. Everything's going to be all right.
Like Drake got a song talking about, I love my bed and my mama.
That's right.
I don't like to get chastised. Corrected.
Hey, that's what Jay going through. That's what Jay go to. I'm going to go to my mama. Or I'm going to go to my woman who act like my mama. She supposed to have the answer. Man, she wise though, man. But she know them scriptures, man. Hey, like you tripping. Everybody, listen, I'm not, no doubt, she probably do got breakdowns. She got scriptures, but the battle is not built for her. It's built for you. She's a reader of the book. You got to live it because she's following you. She's the counterpart of you. She's the weaker part of you. How you send the weaker part of you first? We definitely ain't going to make it. If the weaker part has to go first, you just, listen, you set her up for doom. Them spirits is going to eat her alive because she's not built for that. That's what you're built for.
I just want to add this too on whose skirt we supposed to be going under. Let me get 2nd Ezra chapter 1 verse 28.
Hold them other scriptures.
To 30. We're gonna come right back. Yeah, we're not done with verse 2 yet. I just want to bring this out. 2nd Ezra chapter 1 verse 28 through 30.
Go ahead.
2nd Ezra chapter 1 verse 22.
28.
Oh. 2nd Ezra chapter 1 verse 28.
Read that.
Thus saith the Almighty Lord.
He said, thus saith who?
The Almighty Lord.
A woman.
The Almighty Lord.
It's the Most High speaking. Go ahead.
Have I not prayed you as a father his son?
Have I not been the one that's trying to take over you like a father to a son? Have I not been the one that you're supposed to run to when you're scared?
God.
When you have a nightmare and you get up in the morning, you're supposed to run in my room and jump in my bed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what a father does. When some strangers at the door, the father answered the door. Read.
As a mother, her daughters.
Yeah, but like a mother, her daughters. I'm going to tell you how to carry yourself as a woman. The Most High said he's all these things. He's that protector. He's that shield. He's that guide.
He's that comfort.
He's that comfort.
Yep.
Read.
And a nurse, her young babies.
And just like a nurse, her young babies. You can watch the filthy animal like a pig still take care of her babies.
Yep.
Still roll over on her back and feed her little piglets. Read.
That ye would be my people.
And all he's been saying is, I've been trying to be the one that you run to when you are afraid, when you are down on your luck, when you are on low,
you struggling,
or hard times come. He said he's been trying to be the one that you depend on. Read.
And I should be your God.
And your power, your protector.
There you go.
Go ahead.
That ye would be my children.
Go ahead.
And I shall be your father.
And he said, I'm the one, I'm your daddy.
Yes.
I'll take care of you.
I'm the one that's supposed to be. Oh, man. As you read Ecclesiastes chapter 3, we don't go there. But the first thing it tells you about a father, you honor a father because he is your protector. He is your safety. His job of a father is to keep you safe. That's the job of every father, is to keep his child safe, to keep his household safe. That's the reason why you give honor to the Father. Because his whole purpose and duty was to keep us safe. But we run to everything else but him. Run to your mama. Your mama can't keep you safe. Your mama can't keep you safe. She's the weaker part of you. The only one that can keep you safe is the Father. So she's following you. Like a dude go out to a fight, leaving the club, he out in the fight, and all of a sudden, he done jump behind his woman. We know, we already know, we done seen weak dudes like that, man. She got punched all in the face. She wasn't built to be your damn protection. But we doing that in the spirit, man. Soon as the spirit starts swinging, I grab and put her up there. She getting whooped all day long. What we gonna do? What you mean what we gonna do? What you gonna do? I'm on cooking. I will follow you where you gonna go, but I'm not getting whooped by these spirits because you don't know what to do. Go to class, ask the brothers, so they can tell you what to do, so that we can now go in the right direction.
Good.
That's what's going on. But as soon as she say something like that, see, that's why I'll be talking to you, because you be out of order.
Don't try to tell me what to do.
Try to tell me what to do. That's all that's going on. We follow weakness, right? But the Most High is like, listen, of course the battle's going to be rough. It's designed that way. I've been purging out things in you. But as you're going through it, turn to me, not to her, not to your mama, not to the world. Turn to me. I got the answers to guide you through what you're going through. That's all it's about. That's what the scriptures is showing us.
As a man, you know what I'm saying?
That's what a man of wisdom would be doing. You understand?
Go on.
Go back. What was we at?
You finish this real quick.
Finish that up?
No, it's not finished yet.
Finish it.
Verse 30. I gather you together as a hen gathered her chicks.
So the Most High said, I put you under my wing. That's where a man's supposed to be at. He's supposed to be under the wing of the Most High. Go ahead.
Under her wings.
Go ahead.
But now, what shall I do unto you? I will cast you out from my face.
He said, but if you can't trust me and get under my wing, then you ain't one of my children.
Brothers,
then I can't do nothing for you.
If you're going to be under your woman, then I can't do nothing for you.
Right.
If you're going to turn to the world, I got nothing for you. If you're not going to use the answers and the understanding I'm giving you, then I got nothing for you. All I can do is cast you out. Many are called, but few are chosen. Yeah, man. Is that it?
That's it.
Go back.
Isaiah 32:2.
Let's finish that. Let's finish Isaiah 32 and 2.
Isaiah chapter 32, verse 2.
Then give me, there you go. Give me that one. Give me that next.
And a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind.
He's supposed to be as a what?
And hiding place from the wind.
That's why as a woman I'm supposed to be listening to this. Your man is supposed to be where you can hide from all that fire. He's supposed to have answers. So you gotta let him come and do what? Learn. So we going through stuff out here, you want him to have those answers to get us through and be my protection. But I wouldn't follow, listen, we follow foolishness. Because the whole time he ain't learning. And you got him, listen, he learning more songs. He watching more Netflix. He learning more video games. And as soon as now they kicking us out the house, or the cops is walking in with guns, he will have no answer. As soon as they turn off the lights, what we gonna do? You think that you like, what we gonna do?
We're gonna move back to my mama's
house. Right. Call your mama and see if we can stay over there for a little bit. Yeah. She a little bit done turned to 6 months. That's the truth, man. Everybody knows the truth. Everybody knows the truth. That's what's going on. You want to encourage him to now grow in wisdom, learn to fight the battles he's going through, and teach him, let him learn to turn more to the Most High. That's what we're supposed to be in here doing. We're children, learning to now follow our Father. So we fight every day to now go to where our protection is. Is that in the 2?
No, let me finish.
Finish it up and give you the other.
And a covert from the tempest, as the rivers of water in a dry place.
He's a what?
As the rivers of water in a dry place.
He has answers where there are no answers. He's supposed to have the answers where there aren't any answers. So all these women out here alone, I'm alone with what? No answers. That's why I'm at the club, trying to find me a man to have, they got some answers. He got a drink. I got some baby oil for you. I share my gym membership with you, but I don't have the answers that you're looking for. See what most women do? When they don't have the answers, where do they go? They go home. Problem is, a lot of daddies ain't at home. So mom ain't got many answers. So I'm going to be just as alone and stuck alone because I'm in the same situation she's in. My life is like her life. We don't eat, neither one of us have any answers. Because the Most High already set up the person that was supposed to have the answers for me. It was that man. But I love the truth because a woman can't just choose any man. Does not every man have answers? You're looking for the answers that come from the same place. You're looking for the answers that come. Your mama. My mama ain't let me. My mom is not gonna let us stay with her. You should call your mom, man, and see if we can go over there for a little while. You know, we gonna go. We gonna get ourselves together. We gonna build up. You know what I'm saying? It'll work. It'll work.
We're gonna take the back. We're gonna take the back room.
The back room. Ask your mom we can sleep on the couch. He getting up, doing laundry, vacuuming. Come on, girl, you gotta make sure you're helpful around the house. Because we gotta stay here for a little bit. You'll stack our money, then we'll go back out here, man. We'll get our own place. We're gonna do this and that. That's your answer? She look at you like, man, you lucky you in the gym. Because going for that gym, I'd have dumped you. You better keep the baby oil on, because once you stop using the baby oil, let that gut come out, we done. Because you a loser. You a man of no wisdom. You're supposed to come in here and grow in wisdom. That means I go through the battles I'm supposed to go through, and I got someone to guide me through what I'm going through so I can guide my family through what they're going through. That's what this truth is about. Read it. Where we at?
Last precept. As the shadow of a great rock in a weary land.
It's not supposed to be as a what?
As a shadow of a great rock in a weary land.
Well, listen, this is a mountain. This is something to protect me from the heat.
Shade.
This is something that I can build on now. In this weary land, we are in this wicked world, but this is the rock that I can depend on. This is dependable. Maybe all ain't dependable. That I got the right words to say. It sounds good, but you ain't dependable. So she is getting out of order because you're not dependable. Because you haven't built yourself up. Because you wavering. You finish it? Give me the other one, man.
This is Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 12. I will make a man.
Hold up. This is Isaiah chapter what?
13 and verse 12.
I'm going here, man, because I have to understand you have to understand who you are and what you are to this woman. Because if you understand that, and if that woman understood, she would stop fighting her protection. She'll stop bucking up to the one thing the Most High gave her for her protection. Because you can be out here like every other simple woman, alone. That's all to help single me. You made a great beat. Beyonce made a great song, Single Ladies. She should just call it Ladies Alone. Lonely Ladies. She told all the lonely ladies, put your hands up. Hands like this. I'm alone with no answers, with no protection. Beyonce ain't alone. She got bodyguards. What you got? You got an album. You have been practicing your voice, so when you get to the club, you can sing about being what? Alone. She got money in the bank. You alone. Right, alone and broke. Going home to your mama, and she's single too. So both of y'all alone, arguing with each other. That's all two women do at the house. We gonna argue. Did you wash your cup? Hey, you always maybe you wash the cups. Don't come home with a baby. We gonna argue. Girl, you better get up with that baby. You ain't holding them right. You ain't feeding them right. So I need to get out and get my own place. But it's too hard out there because I ain't got no answers. We ain't realizing, man. But you know what's crazy? I'm clowning, but the only thing a man is doing because he's weak is destroying his nation. Now his child is suffering. The duty that you were supposed to take care of, you ain't taking care of it because you lack the wisdom. But the whole time someone was trying to develop strength in you, you keep running from the fire that's strengthening you, that's fortifying you, that's making you steadfast. You keep running from it. Because most of us raised by our mama anyway. You know what I'm saying? I've been a mama's boy the whole time. So, you know, mama don't never bring it like your dad do. We didn't grow up with dads. Dads punch you in the chest. He tell you stop crying. And you got grabbed up. I don't want to get up. You better get your ass up. When he was on the football field, that nigga was yelling the whole time. He the loudest dude out there. I think, oh, he always yelling. But you ain't gonna say that's what you're thinking. You ain't gonna say that. But you needed that. So now I come in the truth, and guess what? I run into a whole bunch of fathers. This brother raised his voice. He checked me about my weaknesses. He told me to man up. He showed me I was weak to my woman. He showed me I'm irresponsible. And I'm running from that. But you know the sad thing is life keeps showing me that. I ain't paying attention. I'm failing. I'm just getting older. I'm an old, grown kid. Because I still ain't built anything. I got nothing to pass down to my children. I ain't even built no security for my woman. All I can do is send her back home to her mama. Because the whole time I haven't been following and allowing myself to grow in wisdom and understanding. So you say wisdom is the principal thing. He said, get wisdom. He said, in all thy getting, get understanding. But I'm too busy fighting because to get wisdom, you got to go through the fire. To learn to be a man, you have to endure the things that are put in front of you. There is no mama to run to. Only thing you're going to do is quit. You know what sad thing is? For every man that quits, all he did was he left that woman to now raise those kids and now be the man. She's got to figure it out. But wow, she is the weaker vessel, right? You were supposed to be her rock. You were supposed to be her tempest in the fire. You were supposed to be her protection, her shelter. We got this twisted because we're following the world. We got to do better. The Most High requires it of us.
Come.
Read on through the scripture there.
Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
I will make him more what?
Precious than fine gold.
Go ahead.
Even a man than the gold wedge of Ophir.
Read on.
Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place.
He said, brother, when this thing falls, what is the only thing they're going to have? Us. When the world we know crumbles, the Most High going to shake it. If this falls, who do they have? So I feel sorry for half our families. I feel sorry for these women and children. Because we got weak-ass men that use no wisdom. No wisdom. But I won't even learn someone to, if it's just about toughening me up, I won't even allow that. Every time somebody put a little fire on me, what do? I run. I girl up. I don't want to cuss online, man. You know what I mean. I girl up. My slips start showing. Every time, all of a sudden the muscles don't mean nothing. I'm crying like a little girl. I don't got no answer. I don't know what to do. It's hard. It's hard. That's all Jake said all day long. That's why he stay drunk. That's why he stay high. It's easier to go to jail than take care of your family. For all the money these fools are spending on tattoos, they could have bought a house. You tatting yourself up, but you can't get a real job. You can't build a company to take care of, build a future for your family. You're supposed to be her light, her hope. But I'm looking for her to be mine. Or not her, her mama. Because when we fall, that's where we going. We're going back to your mama's house. I mean, some sisters out there like, we at my mama's house right now. Because he said, you know, we gonna come over here, you know, we gonna go ahead. Then I'm gonna be telling, I'm at her mama's house, correcting her mom about eating pork. You know what I'm saying? You're like, listen, Miss Johnson, you know, this bacon is an abomination. You being in my house is an abomination. You being this weak man, you an abomination. You supposed to be in your house, going through your refrigerator. Now you make sure that there's no pork in the house. Everything is righteous because my family is in my house. And I'm taking care of them. But if that woman ain't here today, why? I like wisdom. That's what this is about. It's about growing in that. Not in just, I'm writing down a bunch of scriptures. Am I using them? Am I letting somebody hard, like the scripture say? He said, I had a hard, he said, I got it now, endure hardness as a good soldier of the Most High. I got to toughen up. I got to prepare myself for what's out here. Because I'm not just responsible for me, I'm responsible for my household. Now, let's go here real quick. Let those go. Give me Job. We'll go to an example. Give me Job chapter 1, right? I know we use this in the, you got it? Use this in the Most High Kills breakdown, but Job chapter 1, right?
Go to verse 6.
What verse you say?
Go to verse 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read verse 1,
and
then read down to verse 6, right?
Job chapter 1, verse 1.
Go ahead, read that.
There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job.
Read on.
And that man was perfect and upright.
So every brother, you know, like we come in, we walk in the doors of the Most High, already been doing what? Looking at that man. That man, he is upright. This brother does have righteousness in him. He's more than just baby oil and good looks. He's more than just waves and fringes. There was something about this man because the Most High brought him in. So that speaks for every man that's in this truth. Go ahead.
And one that feared the Most High.
Read on.
And eschewed evil.
And I was trying to live right. His focus is to live right. Every brother has picked that Bible up. That's his intent. I came in intending to do what? Live right. But every brother didn't understand one thing. He was going to get tested. Jump down to verse 6.
Verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord.
I'm not going into Most High Kills class. We understand that the Most High control both sides, good and evil. Every man is tested. The Most High is the one controlling the test. So no different. This is an example of a man that was tested. The Most High wanted to see where his integrity was in. Was he going to be a girl and break and run? Or was he going to be a man that stood for something? That would still lean on the Father.
God.
That's what we're reading about. You understand?
God.
Read on.
And Satan came also among them.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou?
Read.
Then Satan answered, the Lord, and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job?
He said, have you considered who?
My servant Job.
That means every brother's look the same way. Have you considered my servant? Put your name in there. Because that's where we at. Have you considered this brother? Put your name in there. Read on.
That there is none like him in the earth.
There's not a man like him. Every brother's different. There's not a man like him. That means everybody's test is going to be different.
God.
There's not another man like you. So there's a test that's designed for you. Like there was one that was designed for Job. Read.
A perfect and an upright man.
Go ahead.
One that feared the Most High.
Read on.
And eschewed evil.
And you see how long his fringes are? You see how nice that headband is? You see how dedicated he is to praying? You watch how much he studied? You see the crinkles in his beard? This brother is upright. He got the righteous look down. He got the, listen, he's on the Sabbath day, he dedicated. He wears fringes every day. He is dedicated. His Bible don't leave his side. He got his backpack. He has his Bible, Apocrypha, his Josephus, his Zondervan, his concordance. This brother's ready to teach, all right? So the Most High is still looking at all of us the same way. You see how dedicated this brother is? All right, Satan, go get him. Let's test how dedicated he really is. It's like Job was tested to see how dedicated he really was. Read on.
Then Satan answered the Lord and said, do Job fear the Most High for naught?
He said, does the Most High, listen, if the Most High taking care of you, do you fear for naught? If ain't nothing going on, if nothing happening, why wouldn't he be dedicated? This brother's been coming to class. Why wouldn't he be dedicated? But we have that mind frame. Man, I'm here serving the Most High. Because as soon as I get touched, then why the Most High doing this to me? As soon as the car break down, as soon as my woman start going on, she out of order, man. What's going on? Everybody coming against me. The job is tripping. I'm studying, but I'm reading. I'm coming to the Sabbath day. Look at my fringes. What's going on? I got on my fringes. Come on, I'm honoring the Sabbath day. I got on my fringes. What's going on?
One scripture I want to add. What the problem is? That's Luke chapter 12, verse 1.
He gonna read it. He gonna read it.
I'm going to read it, break it down real quick. It's Luke chapter 12, verse 1. It says, in the meantime, when there were gathered together an innumerable multitude of people, insomuch that they trode one upon another, he began to say unto his disciples first of all, beware ye of the leaven of the Pharisees. He said, which is hypocrisy. So Christ is teaching his disciples especially. He wanted to let them know that you got to beware of hypocrisy. What hypocrisy by definition is the playing a part on the stage. Somebody that plays a part on the stage, a simulation or an outward show of feigning to be what one is not. So a feigning means to pretend. Is one that is pretending to be one who is not.
And I like the point you make. Let me say this. Now let's say this because we on online. We're not saying that because I'm a brother sitting up here and I got fringes on, that he's pretending. You know what is pretending? Is that you only see that one thing. You only see one side.
Right.
So you only see the side that I pretend to be. When you watch this show, and I'm up here laughing and joking, man, and I'm not sitting here moping and crying. I can portray the illusion that because I got my fringes on, my headband on, my beard is in there, man, I'm on point. When you come into this truth, you ain't finna go through nothing. I can pretend the part, but that's not reality. It ain't until you hear and you in the work, all of a sudden you see what? You see reality. You see what this is really about.
Right. And you know what Satan's going to do? Satan's going to test that too. He's going to test to see if that's your real true character. One definition of hypocrisy is a concealment of one's real character.
Right. We have learned to do that very well.
Right. We
conceal. Like I said, when you see us online, you only see what? What we let you see. It ain't so, like I said, when people are learning online, and you really got to be in class, you only see what? What's allowed to see. You're only allowed to see what that camera allows you to see. It ain't until you come into the work, all of a sudden now it's like, oh wow, I didn't know it was like this. I didn't know that this is what y'all really do every day. I didn't know that these are the sacrifices that I was going to have to make. I thought, I was going to be like you. I'm going to get up and I'm going to put my headband on and I'm going to make sure I got fringes on my clothes and I'm going to teach the word. I didn't know that to teach the word every night, that means I had to be at the school every night. I didn't know that class that I was watching at home from my couch from 7 to 10, I didn't realize that from 7 to 10, you're not at home on your couch teaching the show. There's sacrifices that got to be made. But if I only see one side, that will be me not only giving you what? That hypocrisy.
That hypocrisy.
Only that side that you see. So we're not saying that these brothers is phony and not doing the work. Because for somebody to have to make those shows, definitely they sacrificing something. Because you don't watch them making a show and they playing a video game. You ain't watching them make the show and all of a sudden they red pop up and put the plate down and they say, hold on, brother, let me take a break so I can eat my dinner real quick.
We're going to go to commercial. We're going to thank our sponsors.
He said, hey, sis, turn the music on for a minute because we got to eat dinner. No, that ain't happening. It ain't happening. But brothers don't see the real side to what? Till they come to a real show and all of a sudden they in the real work and all of a sudden it's like, yo, you know what, damn. When do y'all go home and eat dinner? Yeah, right. Dinner was about, hopefully, if you're lucky, dinner's at about 10:30, 11.
If you lucky.
If you lucky.
God. Late night, early morning.
Right, that's what dinner is.
God.
When is your Netflix time? When do you get your Netflix opportunities? Yeah, about 2 in the morning. That's why I love Netflix. Because it's already, I don't have to worry about watching it live. Right. It'll be on Netflix when I get to it.
God.
At about 2 in the morning, when all the business is done. Right. But you done already turned the TV off. It's like, man, that's a deep show, man. I gotta do more for the Most High. I gotta do more for the Most High. Man, I'm gonna tune in tomorrow night. But you done got everything set up. You got your books. You got your little water bottle. You got your dinner. Every brother remember the days, right? Good. Everybody remember the days. They had their little dinner. They had a little food hooked up. Man, I'm finna serve the Most High. I'm going to class tonight, man. Brothers, if finna drop something deep.
I ain't cooking on the Sabbath.
Man, I ain't cooking on Sabbath.
I came here before the YouTube.
Right. So, we came to me before it was YouTube.
I remember my
it was like 10 o'clock. I was like, I see stores closing. I was like, wait a minute, hold up, we still
here?
Like we got a few more scriptures. I'm like, dang.
It's 12 o'clock.
What kind of church is this?
It's 12 o'clock and the brother just getting to the meat of the class.
Exactly.
But you look at it and say, though, but now there's a false image of what this is about. And I'm not saying that these groups we're tricking people. We're not tricking you, but by the thing you don't see is the sacrifices that are made every day. And it ain't till you come into the program and you come in, now you see it. But that's the fire, that's the test that a man goes through to prove his loyalty to the Most High. Will you sacrifice and get up in front of that camera and now sacrifice those late nights learning, late nights of teaching? If he's here reading, guess where he's not at?
At home.
Yeah. He ain't at home. And I promise you this woman is mad. Because she got to go to work tomorrow. But we got to have our Netflix time too, so.
She wanted that boot time.
So she up at 2 in the morning. She's like, you know, I'm really get tired of being at 2. She got bags too. She had the job, fall asleep. Because this is the time that's allotted to us. Because Israel needed to be taught from 7 to 10. And that's if he had to go home and study and get ready for tomorrow's class. Some nights she had to go to sleep. I went ahead and put I text him, boo, your plate's in the microwave. Or if you don't do microwaves, your salad's in the refrigerator. Or your plate is in the stove, covered with tinfoil. She just drew I love you heart on it.
See you when I see you.
See you when I see you.
I didn't hear you come into bed last night.
Right, so didn't. I was knocked out. That's living the life of an Israelite.
God.
But all of a sudden, when brothers come in and see the truth of it, they're like, wait a minute. I didn't sign up for this, right?
I ain't got no bedtime.
Right, you're really like, baby, that's a little too much. What about our time? Now your time is shared. That's the truth of it. But because we're not complaining about it, and because we love the job that we do, you see the joy. So you think that the only thing we're doing is playing dress up and teaching. And maybe that's our fault. Because we really don't videotape the rest of the day. We only give you that side, that 7 to 10, and we're passionate about teaching, but we didn't film 11 o'clock. We didn't film when I got home at 12 and me and my woman was going at it. I didn't film that. That's not being filmed. We didn't film 8 o'clock when I had to go to the job and I got to be here all day. And then get off and get here so I can teach class. That's not being filmed. If we was filming that, I was like, I don't know, man.
Crazy.
Y'all asking for too much.
A day in the life.
Right.
That's too much stuff to do.
Fools for Christ.
That's when you say, listen, that's when you start coming to Christ there, brother. He said, what do I got to do when I'll be saved? He said, sell all that you have and follow me.
That's real.
That's what we say. Sell all that you have and follow us. Brothers like, what, brothers? That's when we're supposed to come into the truth. And they leave. Because it's too much to give up. You watch sisters come in and they leave because that's not the type of man I was looking for. I want a strong man, but I want a man that's at home. Maybe she should have rephrased it. I want a man with a strong back. That's what I want. I don't want a strong man in wisdom. I wanted a strong couch potato. I wanted a strong brother that could learn like I'm learning, we sit down, we curl up to the scriptures, man, and oh man, baby, that was deep. Because as soon as we start bringing them into the work, you start watching them peel like flies. Why? Because I'm not ready to deal with that fire. She wasn't really ready. She wasn't prepared for the fire. But the sad thing is, she's not supposed to be. Because the fire was never meant for her. It was meant for who?
You.
That's why there's a scripture that says, he says, if you have a woman after your own heart, somebody get that. I want chapter 1. While chapter 1 finished it. Get that scripture for me. Finish that real quick.
Finish that verse.
Tell them where you're at.
Job chapter 1, verse 10.
Go ahead.
Has not thou made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath?
We in Job, or we in, no, we not in Job, we in Luke. Give me one of Luke.
Luke chapter 12 and verse 1.
Yeah, verse 1.
In the meantime, when there were gathered together
But we were reading Job to show how Satan, his job is to test the quality of your service. That's what he's going to do. He's going to test the quality of your service and your intention of why do you serve the Most High. Let's read that again.
And this is Luke chapter 12 and verse 1. In the meantime, when there were gathered together an innumerable multitude of people, insomuch that they trod one upon another, he began to say unto his disciples, first of all, beware ye of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy.
Which is hypocrisy, meaning they play a part, but they don't live the lifestyle that they should live, the proper lifestyle. That hypocrisy, that definition of hypocrisy was a playing a part on stage, or a simulation, an outward show, a feigning to be what is to be what one is not.
Right.
A concealment of one's real character, especially the assuming of false appearance or virtue or religion, a simulation of goodness. So what the Most High said, we read out of Job, the Most High allowed Job to, Satan to touch Job to figure out, is this man here for me or not?
Right.
Is he only playing the part of an Israelite? Does he only look the part of an Israelite? Because that's the problem that Christ had with the Pharisees. They only played the part of the leaders, but they didn't clean up the things that was on the inside. That's why he said the outward of the cup is filthy, but the inward, he said that the outward is clean. He said, woe unto you Pharisees, for the outward of the cup is clean, but the inside is defiled. So he was showing how we got to work on the purpose of why we do what we do every day. It has to be genuine. It has to be sincere. Because the Most High releases Satan on us to determine that sincerity. Am I just going to play the part of a believer in Christ, or am I going to live that part?
Right.
That's what I want to bring out. I know because we read in Job, like you said, you're not bringing out the fact that this is a Most High kills class, but it just shows you how the Most High will allow different temptations to come at you to determine your true character.
That is truly how gold is tried in the fire. This is how an acceptable man is in the first reading. Now, you write it up there.
This is 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 12.
God, 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial.
Concerning the what?
The fiery trial.
Go ahead.
Which is to try you.
Which is to do what?
Try you.
That means every man is going to be what?
Tried.
He's going to be tried. Every man has to be tested. This is not about the clean look. This is not about just the fringes and the headbands. This is not about just making sure I'm on the Sabbath day. You still got to be tested. We got to find out, do you follow the Father or do you lean on your own understanding? That still has to be tried. Go ahead.
God, as though some strange thing happened unto you.
Listen, this can't be now. I'm being tried, but I don't understand. I don't understand why this just should not be happening to me. I'm in the truth. I got my fringes on. I'm not cooking on the Sabbath day. Why am I going through this? It ain't saying strange, huh? Every man is going to be tested. Every family is going to be tested to see you have a backbone. Do you really believe in the Father? You gotta hurry. Finish it real quick. You got something else?
Verse 1.
Read it.
Come. For as much then as Yahushua has suffered for us.
Please tell them where you at.
1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 1. Come. For as much then as Yahushua has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise.
He said you have to do what?
Arm yourselves likewise.
That means you're going to suffer where?
In the flesh.
In the flesh. You're going to suffer. You're supposed to get ready for it. The problem is, when these men walk through this door, they're not what?
Ready.
They're not ready. You know what they're doing? Trying to hide behind a woman's skirt. Because you don't arm yourself for what you got in store for what's in front of you, for what you are going to face. You have to get ready. Finish it.
Arm yourselves likewise with the same mind.
With the same mind. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to suffer. I'm going to go through something. So I have to get ready. This is bigger than just making sure you got fridges on. This is bigger than make sure I didn't cook on the Sabbath day. You have to get ready. Now jump down to the verse that we was reading.
Verse 12.
Go ahead.
Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you.
Now you can understand why you don't think it's strange. Because you was already supposed to be what? Prepared. But we're not preparing ourselves. We coming in, we read. I got to talk down. I got to dress down. But I'm not preparing myself for the spirits that are going to hit me. The battles that I got to go through. The dedication that it requires of you. Go ahead.
Come, as which to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you.
Read on.
But rejoice, inasmuch as you are partakers of Christ's suffering.
He said you got to rejoice in the listen. The Most High he saw the same thing in me that he saw in Job. He saw the same thing in you and me that he saw in Job, that he saw in Christ or Yahushua. That's what I got to be happy about. That the Most High said the same thing about us. Have you considered my servant? Put your name in it. That is an honor. That you can now stand and say, you know what? The Most High chose me. How do I know? Because look at what he's putting me through to build me up. You finish it?
But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Yahushua's suffering.
Go ahead.
That when his glory shall be revealed.
He said when his glory, when he stands, and now for everything he went through, he looked and said, the Most High put him through it. But the Most High saw something in him. I can say the same thing. The Most High put me through this, but the Most High saw something in me. I can rejoice. That is an honor. Everything we go through in this truth, I went through it for the Most High and Yahushua. That is an honor. Everything I had to lose, it was an honor. The nights that I had to get up and dedicate myself to the work that I'm doing, this is to be honored. We're running from it. It's time to stop running. It's time to come in and be the man that you were called to be. Because being here is an honor. Many are called. He said, well, few are chosen out. Few are honored. But if you want that honor, you got to go through the same thing Yahushua went through. I got to suffer. I got to be dedicated. You understand?
Come on.
Finish. Is that it? Finish the last of it.
When his glory shall be revealed.
Go ahead.
Ye may be glad also.
You may be what?
Glad also.
Because when he's in the kingdom, you're going to be on the right-hand side of him. In the kingdom. You made it because you endured, but you let someone teach you how to endure. Stop dressing the part. Let's endure. We as men have to make it to the end, so our families make it to the end. He that endured to the end, the same shall be what?
Saved.
That's what this is about, man. This is about salvation. Don't forget. This ain't a fashion show. You know what I'm saying? We try to make it to the end. We try to make it to the kingdom. We're trying to get on the right-hand side of the Father. Let me get this scripture. We run out of time. Let me get let those go real quick. Okay, all right. Give me 1 Peter chapter. I think it's chapter 2, verse 2.
1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 2.
What does that say?
Come, as newborn babes.
No. It's 2 Peter.
Come.
Chapter 3.
Come, 2 Peter chapter 3.
Talks about it's perfect. No, it's at the top of. Let's see. Go to 1 John chapter 2. It might be there.
1 John chapter 2.
2 or 3. 2.
Good. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 3.
What does it say?
And hereby we do know.
That's it.
And hereby we do know that we know him.
No, that's not it. It's 3. That's it. 1 John chapter 3 and verse 1.
1 John chapter 3 and verse 1.
That's what I want.
Come, behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us.
Read it again.
Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us.
He said, look at this. That's what we read this. He said, look at the type of love that the Most High has given us. We got the same opportunity that Yahweh Shah was given. He's like, I laid out the path for you to make it to the kingdom. This is what you have to go through. But you know what we have that the world don't have? At least we got a path. They lost. If this is what I got to do, at least the Most High got me to the road so I can at least walk it. They lost. The only path for them is destruction. So it's an honor to be on this path. It was the love of the Father to even open our eyes to see the path that you on and how to make it to the kingdom. Because the rest of the world is following madness. They lost. Read on.
Come, bestowed upon us.
Go ahead.
That we should be called the sons of the Most High.
We are his sons. But the only thing that gives you the honor of being called that is because the path was open to you. It's not supposed to be easy. So we don't want it easy. That's right. So if it was easy, then everybody would have it. Then what good is that? Anything worth having is worth earning.
Time.
Every cat that made it to the whatever contract he got, he made it because he earned it. Not because it was given, he earned it. You see what I'm saying?
God.
That's what this is about.
I'm going to add one scripture to that. I'll just read it. 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 12. It says, yea, and all that will live godly in Hamashiach Yahushai shall suffer persecution.
You don't suffer what?
Persecution.
You should have held that to the end, man.
But there's more.
Yeah. Let me finish this. We'll go back to that one. Finish that, Ariel.
God.
Because you got to understand one thing. This is the glory and the honor of this thing. It's the fact that I earned my seat. I earned my salvation. That makes me stand apart from the whole world because I earned mine. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
God.
Read it. Finish that.
God, bestowed upon us that we should be called the sons of the Most High.
Go ahead.
Therefore, the world knoweth us not.
That's why we're not known in this world. Because everybody in the world is looking for somebody to give it to them. They ain't looking for Christ to come back and just put them in the kingdom. See, they're looking for Caesar Borgia. They can have him all day long. So while these fools is looking for Borgia, I was working for that black man to come back. I understood who I'm working for and who I'm trying to earn. I earned a seat in that kingdom. Not this made up fiction fairy tale that we taught in church. Go ahead.
Come, because it knew him not.
Read on.
God, verse 2. Beloved, now are we the sons of the Most High.
Go ahead.
And it doeth not yet appear what we shall be.
Because you're still being what? Refined. You're still being purged. You're still being built. That's why we don't look different than them out there. But if you don't stay, endure, you'll never be different. You're still going to be the same quitter, the same weak-minded, unloyal, disrespectful, disobedient, worldly nigga that you was when you walked through these doors. You just put on different clothes. That's it. That is who we are. We striving for something better. But the kingdom is earned. It ain't given. Read on.
Done. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him.
Read.
For we shall see him as he is.
Because we suffered like he suffered. Because we refined like he was refined. Because we cleaned ourselves up. And we stood as men using wisdom. Like he cleaned himself up and stood as a man using the wisdom of Yahweh, of the Most High. That's what we're here doing. Read on.
Come, verse 3. And every man that has his hope in him purifieth himself.
He's going to do what?
Purifieth himself.
I continue to clean myself up. Because I hope to sit on the right-hand side of the Father. But you can't get there if you don't clean up. You can't get there until you go through the fire that's before you.
Come on.
Now read the scripture after.
Come. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 12. Yea.
No, hold on. Let him get it.
No, you can actually start up at 10.
Come, verse 10. Give me a call when you got it. One person.
3 and 10.
Con? Con. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 10. But thou hast fully known my doctrine.
Because that's what a man's going to get taught. He's going to get the doctrine of what Christ was about. He was about suffering for the next man's sake. He was about suffering and reducing himself so that another man can be elevated. Because that's what the service of Christ is about. Go ahead.
Con. Manner of life.
You know, the lifestyle. There's a particular lifestyle that comes with serving Christ. And this manner of life isn't always the easiest form of life. Matter of fact, real quick, let's go to Matthew chapter, let me get it real quick. Go to Matthew chapter 8, verse 19.
Matthew chapter 8, verse 19. And a certain scribe came and said unto him, Master, I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest.
I'm going to follow you wherever you go, master. You my master. You my head. You my leader. Wherever you go, I'm going to follow. Read.
Verse 20. And Yahushua said unto him, the foxes have holes.
He said, listen, man, you got to understand this lifestyle. He said, the foxes have what?
holes.
At night they got a place to cover up. They go dig a hole in the dirt and cover up. They got shelter. They got a place of comfort. It's a comfortable life. At least they can be safe away from the elements. They be at home. Read.
And the birds of the air have nests.
They got a place where they can meet up, greet, make babies, have eggs. You know what I'm saying? They got their comfort. They got their comfort, man. Even the birds got comfort. Go ahead.
But the Son of Man.
He said, but wait a minute. You got to understand about this lifestyle, this manner of life. Go ahead.
Have not where to lay his head.
It's not going to be a comfortable road. As you put yourself on the path as a man of following Christ, this path is not intended to be comfortable. Right. But at least you know where you're at.
God, that's it.
At least you know that, like we read in 2 Timothy 3:12, all those that live godly shall suffer. God, that's a part of the lifestyle.
God. But it's a glory and an honor because look where I get to. I get to sit in that seat next to Yahushua because I earned it. Can we go ahead?
Read on.
Come, verse 21. And another of his disciples said unto him, Lord, suffer me first.
Let me take care of my business real quick. Let me go handle my business. Let me do my business first. That's what he's asking for. Read.
To go and bury my father.
You know, it's important matter. It's a family matter. Let me take care of these family matters. I got some unfinished business to handle. Very important. What did Christ say?
But Yahushua said unto him, follow me.
He said what?
Follow me.
No, take care of your family business.
Follow me.
You got some unsettled things that you got to solve at home.
Follow me.
You got a woman that you just met.
Follow me.
You just had a baby.
Follow me.
Man, you might in this lifestyle you might not even see your baby's born.
Right.
Right. You might not make it to the hospital because you might be at work. You might be teaching. You might it's things that you got to do.
Mama said I didn't spend enough time at home.
Right. It's Christmas season. It's holidays. You know, everybody get together, come from out of town. You know, cousins coming, family reunions. Everybody getting together, barbecue. You know, I can't miss it, man. You know, I missed all the other ones. I guess he's got to make one of them. So-and-so died. Let me at least go to the funeral. What did he say?
Follow me.
That's simple and plain. This lifestyle means that whatever your personal life you had going on in your personal life takes second place.
Yep.
Last.
Whatever comfort you was looking for, he said you gotta let that go.
It's not gonna be there. That can't be a distraction. Your personal life can't be a distraction.
Right.
In the servitude for Christ.
God.
He said, follow me in what?
And let the dead bury their dead.
He's talking about the spiritually dead. They don't have no understanding. Neither do they walk this life or live this lifestyle.
That responsibility is for them. Like half the things that we deem to be important out here that we got to take care of, that is priority for them. That's not your priority. Your first priority is what? That's it, serving him, man. I have to understand, like we said, who my head is. Who I'm supposed to be loyal to first and foremost. My responsibility is to him first. Their responsibility is whatever they got going on out there. So be like the boss said, man, did you lock up? No, I ain't lock up, but I'm in class. I don't get to leave class to go do that. Because my priority is where? This is first. Okay, once this is done, and I got time, I'll slide by there. But other than that, this is my first job. You say the hobby? This is my source of income.
God.
Good.
That's where it's supposed to be. But we too busy taking this like we watch a show. I turn the show on when I get around to it, right? I watch a little bit, and plus the internet put it on pause. We'll come back to it. Man, Law and Order man, I ain't seen this episode of Law and Order. That's all we doing, man. We playing. And I'm gonna look for a group that's going to allow me the liberty to serve the Most High. And we're learning there is no liberty The world got liberty. You don't. There is no comfort for you. Your life is this. You can chase where you want. You can pretend as long as you want to pretend. Just don't pretend too long. You want Christ to come back and say, well done, thy good and faithful servant. You've been faithful of a few things. I'm going to make you ruler over many. For the little things that you made important, I got bigger things for you to rule. But if you make it unimportant, there's nothing for you to rule. You've already shown what type of steward you are. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, go back to 10.
Come, verse 10. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 10. But thou hast fully known my doctrine.
That teaching is that this is the life of what it takes to please Christ.
You've been reading the scriptures. You know what I'm requiring of you. After this class, everybody who is here in attendance and online know, I know exactly what's required of me. I know what my dedication should be first and foremost. I know.
Come.
What I choose to do, it's up to me, but it ain't like I don't know.
Right.
Go ahead.
Come. Manner of life.
He said that lifestyle, that this comes first. That's the manner of life that we live. This is first. Christ is first. Go ahead.
Purpose.
What's our purpose?
Wow.
Jump down to verse 17.
That's bad.
Come. Verse 17. That the man of the Most High.
So your purpose is to get to the point where you become this. Read.
That the man of the Most High may be perfect.
Maybe what?
Perfect.
What's your purpose in this work?
May be perfect.
That you become perfect in the eyes of the Most High. That's your purpose. Everybody should be shooting for that purpose.
Yep.
That I become perfect in the eyes of the Most High, meaning I'm clean in the eyes of the Most High.
Yeah, man. I dedicated to now following him. What made me perfect is I don't think for me.
Right.
What makes me perfect is the fact that everything I go through, I go to him first. I get up, I come under his wing. Like we read, right? Of course we're not perfect. I'm going to make mistakes all day long. This wisdom is perfect. This book is perfect.
God.
So if I'm following that, this what makes me perfect. Where I flaw is when I stray from it. When I try to lean on my understanding, now I make mistakes. But when I'm in this book, it's nothing but perfection. What makes it perfect? Because this is the guide to get us to the kingdom. How do I know that? Because we got Yahweh Shai sitting in it. He made it. That's how you know it's perfect. I just gotta follow it. If I'm following this is where perfection comes from. You understand?
God.
Finish that 17.
God. Thoroughly furnished.
And you know, when you made perfect, you clean enough to now be used by the Most High. Thoroughly furnished means I'm equipped and I can be used by the Father. The Most High doesn't, if we're vessels of the Most High, and the objective is to clean up these vessels so that we can be prepared to do more work for the Most High, that's what it means to be thoroughly furnished. Meaning I'm clean enough to be used as a vessel for the Most High. No different than if you go to a restaurant, you're not going to eat off a dirty plate. And you're not going to eat with a fork that got a piece of rice stuck in the middle of it. You're going to tell them, man, take this plate back. It's dirty. I can't eat off this. Go back and give me some better silverware. The Most High is looking at us the same way. I can't use you as a man unless you get cleaned up. But after you walk this certain lifestyle, you prepared now. After you walk this lifestyle, I can use you for anything. I can use you for everything. He said thoroughly furnished unto what?
Unto all good work.
Now you can do everything good. Now you're a good man.
That's it.
You ain't a good man until you're thoroughly furnished.
And I like it now, the point you're making, I have to be tested.
Right.
Y'all can say that good man, if we go back to Job now. Is that what you want down?
No, just finish verse 10.
Come, verse 10. Faith.
He said, now I know my purpose, my faith, who my faith is in. My faith is in the Most High. Go ahead.
Long suffering.
The reason I can suffer long is because I know that this is a process that the Most High is using to clean me up.
Right.
This is just a process. This is what it takes to be used by the Most High. I got to be cleaned up. Now I can suffer for a long time because I know the fire is not to burn me. It's just to make me more pure. Read.
Charity.
Now I know how to give. Because we think we know charity until we're put in a position where people are leaning on us and we got to go for self or we're going to go for them.
Wow.
We don't know charity until we put in that position. Am I going to go do for me, or am I going to extend myself and be there for somebody else? Read.
Patience.
And I don't know patience unless I'm in a position where I want to quit. You don't know how patient you are until you put in a hot situation.
Yeah, and I like what you made about charity. It ain't till you have something. When you don't have nothing, it's easy to give when you ain't got.
Right.
And you expect it to come to you. It ain't till you start to build up. And now I done built something up, and guess what I'm expected to do? Take care of the next person. Give to the next person. Make those sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? That's when your charity is tested. Your patience, your love. That's when it's tested. They ain't tested when you got. When you ain't got nothing. Everybody's charitable when they ain't got nothing. Everybody's patient when you ain't got nothing. You've been waiting, so shoot. I can do this all day long. It ain't till you got built up, everything's good, now it's comfortable, and now I'm required to do what? Give, love, wait, dedicate. That's when that's when that fire is real. When you got a beautiful woman at home, that meal, but you can't get to it because that's where you got to be at. That's when the fight, that's when the struggle is real. That's when it's real. That's when the Most High is trying to see what? Your true intent. Are you only doing this because of what I blessed you with? But when you're not getting blessed, when you don't get what you want, will you still give the same dedication? That's what he's trying to see. Finish it up.
Finish it up.
Verse 10.
Next verse.
God.
Verse 11.
Persecution. Affliction.
So the perfect man knows that this is the process. Persecution, affliction, what else?
God. Which came unto me at Antioch.
Read on.
At Iconium. At
Lystra.
At Lystra. With persecutions I endure.
Every man got to get to the point where he can endure all persecutions.
Right.
Because he knows that he's being tested and honed in and made perfect through the fire that he's going through.
Right.
This is the part of the heat, the temptation that I go through, the battles that I go through. Every day is making me a better man. And I know how to lean on the Most High from this day forward.
God.
So no matter what I lose, no matter what I sacrifice, there's no compromise for righteousness.
There you go.
Read on. Finish that.
What I endured, but out of them all the Lord deliver me.
So everybody got to get to that level of faith, right?
And you know, I love it because I read the last part. Who's supposed to deliver you?
The Lord.
Your woman can't deliver you.
Right.
No job can't deliver you. Ain't nothing out in the world that can deliver you from this. Because you are not proving anything to the world. You have to prove it to Yahweh Shai. You got to prove it to the Most High. That is the only one that can deliver us. That's why you can look at the glory in it. I'm not proving anything to the world. I got nothing to prove out here. I have to get up every day, and the work I do is because I'm trying to prove something to the Most High and Yahweh Shai. You understand?
Now
let's go back to Job. We can finish up, man, in this class up.
You want Job chapter 2?
Chapter 1. Right?
Job chapter 1.
And I want you to start in verse 7.
Job chapter 1 and verse 7. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou?
Read.
Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth,
Read.
and from walking up and down in it.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job?
Have you considered who?
My servant Job.
Go ahead.
That There is none like him in the earth.
That is how we're looked at by the Father. He's here. There's none like him. No man, no two men are the same. Have you considered him? Go ahead.
A perfect and upright man.
Read on.
One that feareth the Most High.
One that got his fringes on, his headband, and he honors the Sabbath day.
One that feareth the Most High.
One he called out by Shema Mashiach Yahushua.
One that feareth the Most High.
Go ahead.
And escheweth evil.
Read on.
Then Satan answered the Lord.
Go ahead.
And said, doeth Job fear the Most High for naught?
Do he have them fringes on for nothing? He ain't been touched. Look at what you're giving him. Look at that woman you done blessed him with. You done took it. Everything you have taken care of. Look at the cars. Look at the clothes. He didn't have to really want for much. What haven't you taken care of? Read.
Verse 10. Hast thou not made a hedge about him?
Have you not been protecting him? Go ahead.
And about his house.
Read on.
And about all that he hath on every side.
Read on.
Thou hast blessed the work of his hands.
He said, you have blessed the work of his hands. You done built him up. Read.
And his substance.
Like I said, when do you get touched? When you done came up.
You got something.
You got that fly ride. You got the money in your pocket.
Everybody. Every spirit.
You got that beautiful, submissive woman at home. Then all of a sudden Satan start doing what?
See that?
Start poking. Man, all the cars breaking down. The job, listen, man, the boss is tripping at the job. All of a sudden, that submissive woman, she have a second thought. She ain't as submissive as she used to be.
All controls and things now.
Right? She said, I got something to say too. She said, Christ is working through me too. You know what I'm saying? Listen, now it ain't as comfortable at home as it used to be.
Gotta drop a dime on him.
But I'm doing what now? I'm going through my test. What do I hold on to? That is what the test is. Read on.
And his substance is increased in the land.
Read.
But put forth thy hand down and touch all that he hath.
Go ahead.
And he will curse thee.
He will do what?
Curse thee.
He is going to leave. As soon as you touch what he have, what is he going to do?
Curse thee.
He is going to leave. He is going to abandon your ways. He is not going to use your wisdom. He's going to turn to his wisdom. Guaranteed. That's the test. Read on.
To thy face.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power.
You mean that beautiful woman is what?
In thy power.
You mean that job is where?
In thy power.
That car is where?
In thy power.
Read on.
Only upon himself put not forth thy hand.
And you can tell that be happening because the brother still be here, broke. The woman that left, but he's still here.
Dang.
Like, what's going on, man? I don't know. All right, what you doing, man? You ain't using wisdom, brother. No, you going through, you getting hit. It's time to gird up.
God.
That's all that's going on. It's time to gird up now.
God.
It's time to open that book. It's time to listen to counsel.
God.
You got to be guided through this.
God.
Read on.
So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord.
Uh-huh.
And there was a day with his sons and his daughters.
And we ain't going to read this whole thing because we obviously know the story of Job. Job got touched. Lost women. Lost his kids. Lost his wealth. He lost all of it. But when all that he left, and at the end of, through the worst that he went through, we had to find out what was his mindset. That's what we have to read. Exactly. Jump down to verse and like this, yeah, is it 21? Yeah, 20.
Come. Job chapter 1 and verse 20.
Because you don't look out when you read the whole thing. Y'all go back and read this chapter. Adversity after adversity after adversity after adversity. He kept getting hit. As soon as one person came and gave a report, someone else was already on their way. He didn't get a chance to even absorb the blows. Sometimes, you know, even as a man, if you give your chest, a mind a second just to do what? Adjust to it? Okay, come down. All right. Okay, that was a blow. All right, I can deal with that. Let me get a minute. Okay, that was a blow. Okay, man, let me get about a month or so. Let me get in this book, get my head together. Job didn't get none of that. That's the test. But also, for him to go through that, the scriptures say, the Most High don't give you more than you're able to what?
Handle.
You know what I'm saying? And he said he always make a way to escape. So obviously, the Most High knew something about Job that he may not have known. No different than every man. The Most High knows something about you that you may not know. There is an uprightness in you that you don't even know. But what's going to bring it out? What you have to go through. The Most High going to show you the wisdom that's in you. But you got to now endure. You just got to go through this. Read on, finish it all, y'all.
Come, verse 20. Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshipped and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Verse 22. In all this Job sinned not, nor charged the Most High foolishly.
But even in we know that chapter, even this woman, she was looking at what he was going through and said what? He said, why don't you curse your God and die? Why don't you just quit? I had to even endure that. I had to endure, that means I went through this alone. There was no skirt for me to get under. There was nothing to go to. This is a battle that every man has to go through alone. He has to understand that this is between him and the Father, and that the brothers around him is going to feed him the wisdom to go through what you have to go through. Y'all understand?
Right.
That's why I said it's about girding up. It's about getting yourself ready. Give me a reading.
I want to bring this out to James chapter 5, start at verse 11, and we're going to just hit 9 and 10.
James chapter 5 and verse 11. You said start at verse 10?
No, read verse 11 first.
Verse 11, behold, we count them happy which endure.
You're supposed to be happy as you go through affliction. Because you know what it's doing for you. You know what it's doing for your relationship with the Most High. Read.
God, ye have heard of the patience of Job.
We just read about the patience of Job.
Right.
We just read what it took for the Most High to come back and bless him. So out of the whole book of Job, what did we learn from the whole book of Job? Read.
And have seen the end of the Lord.
You got to see the end of the Most High. Because you don't know where the Most High is taking you to. All you know right now is we just know heat. We just know heat, discomfort. This is not comfortable. I don't like this lifestyle too much. It's not as easy as I thought it was because I got to live a certain way. But you haven't seen the end of the Most High. With you, we know the end of Job, but how do we know the end of every man? We haven't reached that point yet.
Where's your end?
Right.
You haven't allowed yourself to go through it so I can see the end of the Father. What blessing is there for me? Because if he did it for Job, if he did it for Yahweh Shai, if he did it for all the patriarchs of the Bible, then he have an end. He has a blessing in store for me. I just got to endure.
Read on.
That the Lord is very pitiful.
And the Most High is what?
Very pitiful.
So out of all the affliction and hell we catch, at the end of it, the Most High says what?
The Lord is very pitiful.
He still has enough pity. Pity is mercy.
God, man.
Pity is somebody that has compassion.
God, man.
That's somebody with empathy.
I was sitting there watching. It's a power that's watching everything you're going through, and I got you.
Right.
I'm gonna hold your hand all the way through it. I'm gonna bring you. I just want you up under my skirt. I wanted you to be that child to come to me and let me protect you through this. That's all he's been asking for. Not to run to the world, not to cower in a corner, to come in here and allow wisdom to guide me through this so that I can see my blessing on the other side. If you confused, good. You're supposed to be confused. It ain't like you got the answer. Job was confused.
Right.
He didn't have no answers. The only thing I know is what? If the Most High never let me down before, so why would he do it now? That's all we got. That is the true measure of faith. I'm going to go through what I got to go through because I know the Father's got me. That's what this is about. The scripture says without faith, he says it's impossible to please him.
God.
This one has to be built. The just shall walk by what?
Faith.
What makes me upright and righteous is the fact that I developed my faith. You can't get it from a dress code. You can't get it from looking the part. You have to live this because faith has to be built.
God.
It's what makes you righteous in his eyes. Go ahead.
Read on.
And of tender mercy.
And of tender mercy. So it's the Most High that's going to take change by circumstance. He put me in this circumstance. He's going to take me out of the circumstance. We know it's the Most High who put us in a circumstance. Read Philippians. Philippians chapter 2 verse 13 real quick.
Philippians chapter 2 and verse 13. For it is the Most High.
Who's responsible for all this?
The Most High.
Who chose me out the world to walk this path of Christ?
The Most High.
Who's in me to help me do this work and make it through this suffering?
The Most High.
Who's in me?
The Most High.
Go ahead.
Which worketh in you.
He's doing what with me?
Worketh in you.
He's helping me out. He's not leaving me on this path just to abandon me and drop me off and make me suffer just to suffer as a bad leader or a bad parent. Just want to watch me cry or whip you till I can watch you cry. It's not for that purpose. It's not out of an abusive purpose. It's to test to see your value, what you're made out of. Read.
Both to will.
It's him that's working you. It's in you to do his will. So he's trying to find out, are you going to do your will no matter what you go through, or are you still going to do my will? Are you still going to follow me, or are you going to do what you want to do when things get hard? Read.
To will and to do of his good pleasure.
And he's going to find out, are you going to do your pleasure and what makes you feel good and feel happy, or are you going to still follow the Most High when it's most uncomfortable?
And do my pleasure.
And do his pleasure. It's the Most High that's doing it all. He's controlling everything. Yes, sir.
Yeah, read that scripture back one more time, please.
It's Philippians chapter 2, verse 13. And we're going to read verse 14.
God, do all things without murmuring.
And that's why I got to do everything that I do for Christ without what?
Murmuring.
Complaining.
You're quitting.
Whatever's being asked for me to do, I do it with joy.
God.
Because I know it's the Most High that's setting this plan up. He's in control. Read.
And disputing.
And disputing. Now finish that. Go back to where we was at in James. Chapter 5.
God.
And read verse 9.
Verse 9. Grudge not one against another.
But you know what happens when a brother tell me that this is the path that I got to walk on? What do I start doing then?
Grudge.
I start catching a grudge. Why? Because this man is telling me something that I got to do that's very uncomfortable for me. He's telling me that I got to put the Most High first, not my woman. So now I'm mad at this brother because, man, he got time. He got this. Why you telling me that I can't spend no time? And then we start comparing, envying, covetous. We start doing all these things, trying not to walk this path. Who does he think he is? Why I got to keep listening to you? My life just steady being uncomfortable, because he's trying to put you on a path to where you now can lean on the Most High and get to the point that you depend on the Most High to take you out of it and to bless you at the end, because a brother can't give you a blessing. He can only show you how to walk the walk and how to be blessed by the Most High. Read.
Come, grudge not one against another.
So as I suffer for Christ's sake, I'm not supposed to take this suffering out on the people around me. I take it out on my rib at home, take it out on my kids, take it out on people that's close to me, take it out on my elders. We start taking these things out on everybody around us because we're not understanding that it's the Most High's plan that put me here. Right. Read.
Brethren, lest ye be condemned. Behold.
I bring to myself a curse if I start taking this walk out on people around me. This walk is made for me to be uncomfortable so that I can grow in the Lord. I can grow in faith. I can grow in patience. These are lessons that I got to learn and virtues that I got to add to myself as a man. Read.
Come, behold, the judgment standeth before the door.
Go ahead.
Take my brother, the prophet.
That's why I said you got to look at the prophets. You got to look at Job. Like we're doing. We got to read about Job. We got to read about Ezekiel. We got to read about Jeremiah. We got to read about Isaiah. We got to read about Elijah, Elisha. He said we got to use these men for an example. We got to read about Peter. We got to read about Paul. So as you go through your affliction, you got to lean on the Bible even that much more. Read.
Who have spoken in the name of the Lord for an example.
For what?
For an example.
Of what?
Of suffering, affliction.
So the more that your man is following the Bible and the men in the Bible, as a woman, you should be applauding that man. Because he's following his examples.
That's it.
Go ahead.
Come. And of patience.
Of suffering affliction and of patience. So that man, as long as that man is doing that, then a woman should be backing that man up. And in support of that man.
And I like the point you make it, that this is what a man is supposed to be understanding. This is supposed to be growing in you. You know what I'm saying? So with that, we're not keeping it, because sorry, we went over the yeah, the time limit, but it was good. It was a lot of information. We got to the class, but we didn't get to the meat of it, which is cool, because a lot of understanding came out. You know what I'm saying? So hold the Most High blessing, man. We'll be back on Wednesday. The class will be on Wednesday, man. We're going to, at least with Kazaki and them over in Trinidad right now, doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Shamadan is up in Albuquerque blowing it up. You know, we out, Warden and out in San Antonio. We had to come down and be here, man, to really make sure we all in the book. We help it as much as we can help. If anybody have questions while we're here, because we will be here Wednesday, over the weekend. If you got questions, man, we're accessible to y'all. You know what I'm saying? You want to come in on the show. If you got questions, keep calling in with your questions. Ask it. And make your questions that's about your development and growth. You know what I'm saying? Because this is your salvation that you're working on. You know what I'm saying? And to the best of our knowledge, we will always attempt to answer those questions. You know what I'm saying? And if we can't, we'll keep studying. We don't profess to know everything, but we'll keep studying and keep searching the book, searching the scriptures to look for the answers that will help keep strengthening your faith in this truth, man. We continue, man, till we get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? So with that, we are gonna say shalom to everybody on the YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Shalom.
And then we're gonna at least send 4 quarters up. You know what I'm saying? Lord's Prayer, man, and ask the Most High to keep blessing us. Okay. So we're gonna say shalom to everybody out there.
Shalom.
Shalom.
This is Majid, Wampanya Hakwadam. Please rise and face the east. That's good. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Abanawa, Shema Shemaya, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwavka, Saba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratza, Kawa, Hayah,
Noah.